High school football is back on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. Tonight from Yorktown, Indiana, Week 10 sectional action as Western takes on Yorktown. Good evening and hi again, everyone. Brian Beaver along with you again tonight. Week 10, do-or-die football, 4A Sectional 21. One of these teams will go on and play another week. One will go home tonight, pretty unhappy, and put away the gear for another year. The Western Panthers from Rocheville in Howard County, southwest of Kokomo, come in with a rejuvenated program. Alex Stewart, the first-year head coach, has turned the Panthers around. 3 straight losing seasons before this. The Panthers come in at 5-4. If they lose tonight, they have a 500 year, and if they win, they're guaranteed to have a winning season. They have a lot to play for tonight. Yorktown comes in with the less impressive one-loss record at 3-6 overall, but Mike Wilhelm's Tigers are a lot better than a 3-win football team, and a couple teams have found that out the hard way late in the season. Bear in mind that Yorktown lost 5 games in a row from weeks 3 through 7, but 4 of those were one-score games, and they've had another one-score game last week. So Tigers could very well be 6-3 instead of 3-6 coming into this sectional game tonight. Mike Wilhelm in his 13th year running the Tiger program. These two teams are infrequent opponents. Their last meeting was 3 years ago on Halloween 2014. Yorktown whipped Western in the semifinal of the sectional that night, 44-8, on the way to the most recent Yorktown sectional title. That was the great Riley team, Riley Neal, Riley Miller, in 2014. So you look at Yorktown. What do you expect tonight? Well, they've got their starting quarterback back. It'll be Reed Neal back behind center for the first time in 3 weeks. He came out of the Greenfield Central game with an injured shoulder, didn't take a snap or play in either the win over Pendleton Heights or the loss to Mount Vernon last week, but he's ready to go tonight. We'll see what he's got left in his tank to finish out his sophomore year. That will allow their best receiver, Brant Applegate, to go back from backup quarterback to wide receiver, and he's been their best receiver by far this year on the Yorktown sideline. 36 catches for 448 yards. He's averaging over 12 yards of reception. His longest was 67 yards, and 5 TDs by reception for Brant Applegate. So he's done a nice job, and he did a really nice job backing up Neal with 2 starts at quarterback. He went 1-1 there with a 25-17 win over Pendleton Heights, and then a tough loss last week in Hancock County on the road at Mount Vernon, losing 10-6. 2 straight wins to start the year for Yorktown as they beat Anderson in a shutout and took Muncie Central on the final play of regulation. These two teams have had similar years. Western started with a win, a shutout, 47-0 over Frankfort, then lost 4 in a row before winning their last 4. So they've won 4 straight coming in. And Yorktown, of course, with that 5-game losing streak in the middle of the season. But we touched on it a minute ago. You lose 62-55 in overtime to Newcastle. The next week, you lose 29-28 to Shelbyville. The week after that, you lose to Greenfield Central without your best quarterback, 34-26. And last week, you lose to Mount Vernon, 10-6. 4 winnable games. You could be looking at 7-2 instead of 3-6. Will not be a walkover kind of game, I don't believe, tonight for the Western Panthers. Western comes in with the 4th leading rusher in Indiana. Their quarterback, Tyler Nepley, a senior, 6'2", 190 pounds, and he is a load to bring down. He's carried the ball 283 times for 1643, 5.8 per carry, a 69 for a long one, and 22 rushing TDs, also among the leaders in Indiana high school football. You'll hear the name Tyler Nepley a lot. 3 times this year he has had 40 or more carries in a game, and he had 49 carries and over 300 yards rushing and 4 TDs in a game against a very good West Lafayette team earlier in the season. The kid is loaded. He can really get it done. You're going to hear the name Tyler Nepley a lot. They don't throw much. When they do, they usually go to Reed Hubbard. He's a big receiver, 6'4", 200 pounds, a senior. He's only caught 12 balls all year in 9 games, 22-yard average and 4 TDs. But it's a mostly run, throw only when you have to kind of approach for Alex Stewart in his first year at Western out in Rocheville, Indiana. It's a beautiful night for football. Just a few high cirrus clouds, a lot of blue sky as the sun sets here to our right. And we're ready for some outstanding high school football action. There are 3 other games in this sectional tonight. The winner of this game will play the winner of Lebanon versus Pendleton Heights. So Yorktown could see Hoosier Heritage Conference rival Pendleton Heights a second time next weekend if they can get the dub here tonight on their home field. Game time temperature is going to be somewhere in the upper 60s. It's a beautiful night. Knock on wood. We've not had one bad Friday night this fall yet. The other shoe is dangling. It's almost November. You know what that means. But so far, we've been really, really lucky. No lightning delays this year, almost no rain, and mild temperatures. It's been the year of the mild football game in 2017. Teams are about to come on the field. They'll come out and do the pregame introductions and get this one underway. The Yorktown coaching staff making its way out onto the stadium floor now here at Yorktown's Tiger Stadium. Small crowd across the way made the long drive, and I mean long, from the very western edge of Howard County all the way over here to Yorktown, suburban Muncie for this one. So we're about set to go. We'll take our first break. When we come back, the coin flip, the starting lineups, the opening kickoff. It's Western and Yorktown up next on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. Don't go away.
From Jamestown to Jonesville, from North Salem to South Milford, from River Forest to Grass Creek. No matter where you live in Indiana, you can enjoy high school sports coverage at its very best on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. It's 35 powerhouse radio stations, Fox Sports Indiana, and the World Wide Web, combining their vast resources to blanket the state, the Midwest, and the world with the purest, most riveting presentation of high school sports in America. From Anderson to Attica, Kendallville to Kokomo, follow the high school sports that make our state great all season long. Thank you, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, and welcome home.
Hey, honey, is this your course schedule for the fall?
Yep.
Let me see here. English, good. Chemistry, trigonometry, excellent. World history, I love world history. Baseball? Wait, baseball? Baseball isn't a course, honey.
Well, sure it is, Mom. High school sports are about so much more than winning and losing. They teach lessons that can't be taught in a classroom, like accountability and self-discipline, the value of teamwork. I may not be earning a grade, but I'm learning how to compete later in life. Isn't that what getting a good education is all about?
Yes, of course it is. I was just testing you.
What can teenagers here in Indiana learn from participating in high school sports? Plenty, as it turns out. That's why they're called education-based athletics.
High school sports. There's so much more than just a game.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
And Mark Persia.
Welcome back to Tiger Stadium in Yorktown. Brian Beaver along with you. Thanks for loaning me your ears for about 3 hours tonight as we enter state tournament play. Win and go on, lose and go home. Yorktown and Western. Western will come onto the stadium floor walking now. Yorktown will run out to their bench first. You hear that in the background. And Western with an American flag, a big one, being carried out at the front of their line as they come out to the stadium floor as well. We're just a few minutes away from getting this one started tonight on Tiger Drive. At all tonight, the flag in the western end of the stadium is hanging and hugging on the pole. That won't be a factor. We have enough clouds on the horizon that the sun won't be a factor. In the warm-up it was. The sun was under the cloud base and the receivers were having a terrible time looking back for balls thrown toward the east, looking back west, but that's not a factor now either, and we're about set to go. Yorktown will be the home team wearing the home green jerseys tonight with white lettering and black trim, white pants, green helmets with the block Y on the side. Western comes in with white jerseys, black pants, black helmets. Their school colors are red, black, and white over at Western and Rushville. So we're just about set to go. This is going to be a fun game. 5-4 Western Town. You got to win to go on next week and take care of either Lebanon or Pendleton Heights. One other Delaware County game in this sectional tonight. It's across the county out at Delta as Marion takes on Delta. And Westdale is in action in 1A at home. They're hosting Union City. Muncie Central in the 5A tournament has a bye this week. They get the night off. They'll start their tournament next weekend. And boy, do they have an enviable task. They got to go play New Pal at New Pal, the #1 team in the AP poll. Yeah, that's all you get for being 1-8. So the Bearcats will have a tough road to hoe next week. We're all set to go. Teams are on the field. Captains are being waved out to the midfield stripe. We'll have the coin toss here soon enough. Reminder that tomorrow we'll have regional high school volleyball for you here on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel, right where you are now. It'll be Zionsville and Yorktown in the second semifinal from the Muncie Fieldhouse tomorrow. That's a battle of top 5 teams in 4A, and both are state title contenders, legitimate contenders. So that ought to be a lot of fun. Join me at 11:50 with the first serve at noon. Western won the toss. They deferred. That means Yorktown will get the ball first in this sectional game tonight in suburban Muncie. Most recent meeting 3 years ago on Halloween 2014, Yorktown 44, Western 8. 2 sectional titles in the history of Western football, 4 sectional titles in Yorktown's history, including 2014. The most recent one for Western was in 2007. So the coin toss is complete. The teams are back on the sidelines, and we're about set to go here tonight in the western part of Delaware County. Great to have you along. If you're on Twitter, drop me a line. My handle is @DelcoPreps. Let me know where you're listening. And remember, these games are archived, so if you miss it live or you have a relative who didn't know about it or missed it live, you can listen to it tonight, tomorrow, next week. It's up to you, as many times as you want. We've had really good response. Had great response to volleyball last week. So we're set to go. Western has it teed up and will kick it away. Their kicker, in terms of their kickoffs, is Skylar Zavala, and he's got it teed up right in the middle of the field on the X at the 40. And Yorktown will send 3 men back deep. The deepest of those is Tyler Rittenhouse at his 5. I see Applegate and one other man across the way at about the 25. So the Panthers set to get rid of it. Tigers are ready to handle it. And we're about set to go at dusk here in Yorktown, Indiana. Thanks for bringing along for the ride. Here comes the approach, the kick. It's a high, short kick, a pop-up. There's a fair catch signal as Yorktown catches it at the 41, and we've got a flag on the kickoff as well, and that might be offside. It's procedure against Western. Someone was early on the cover team. So we've played exactly no seconds on the scoreboard, and we've got our first flag, and hopefully that's not an omen of things to come. That'll back Western up to the 35, and they'll do it all over again. One of the short men, and I mean the short men, Walker Moore, caught that ball. You can fair catch a kick in the air. It's a great strategic play as the defense hones in on you. So here comes the next one. Again, high, this one a little longer. It'll come down around the 35, taken by a short man, cut outside of the 40. Run back to the 45 and to the 46-yard line. It looked like Christian Hunt. It was Christian Hunt. And Yorktown has great field position at its own 47-yard line. Great way to start the night if you're a Yorktown fan. Here's how they'll line them up for the green and white tonight. Reed Neal back at starting quarterback with Jordan Spangler and Tyler Rittenhouse at running back. Hunt, Applegate, Harris, and Moore et al., lawyers, attorneys at law, will be the receivers. From the pistol on 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff to the deep back, and that's Spangler, who has running room into the other side of the field. Goes all the way to the 40, coughs it up on a fumble. It's picked up. This might go all the way. Applegate picks up the fumble and takes it the rest of the way. Touchdown, Yorktown. Unbelievable. 54 yards in total, and about 40 of those on the fumble pickup and return by Applegate. Wow. Spangler got about 14 yards and then fumbled it. Applegate with the heads-up play of the night to come up and scoop it and go the other 40. And 19 seconds into the game, Yorktown has the lead. On to try the PAT. Mitchell Dulworth waiting on the snap and the hold. Good snap, hold on the platform. The kick is up. It is no good, wide left. 11:41 to go in the first quarter. It's already Yorktown 6, Western nothing on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. Do not go away.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Indiana high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the ball game. What a way to start the game. First play from scrimmage goes for a touchdown on a fumble. What a way to get a first down and a touchdown. Brant Applegate scooped up a fumble at around the 40-yard line in Western Territory after Spangler coughed it up and took it the rest of the way down the sideline for the touchdown. Extra point no good. 6-0 lead for Yorktown Western, about to get their first shot at the ball tonight with their deep man standing around the 18-yard line. Dulworth with the kick. It's a low one down the middle. It'll be picked up on a couple hops at the 20. Straight ahead, 25-30. Big hole. He's going to go the distance all the way down the sideline. Josh Coleman is going to go 80 yards for the touchdown. And Western has tied the game. Holy cow.
80-yard touchdown.
80-yard kickoff return. Josh Coleman got into the seam where no one could touch him and drove right down the field to the near sideline. And now on to try the extra point kick. The all-important extra point, because this is for the lead already. Freeman in to try the kick. Waiting on the snap and the hold. He says, I'm ready. Now they wind the play clock and they're ready to go. Good snap, hold on the tee. Kick is up, kick is good. 11:31 to go in the first quarter. We've played 29 seconds and had 2 scores already. They go to the break. It's Western 7, Yorktown 6 on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. Don't go away.
Who do I play high school softball for? I play for my mom and dad who've never missed a game.
Whether they're playing for their teammates, their classmates, or their community, high school student athletes in Indiana learn important lessons they'll use for the rest of their lives, like respect for the rules and the value of hard work and sacrifice. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the ball game. If you're just joining us, shame on you. You've missed 13 points in 29 seconds. How about that? Yorktown scores on its first snap and misses the extra point. Western scores on the ensuing kickoff return and makes the extra point. And the Panthers lead this one 7-6 already. Shades of the Newcastle Yorktown game that included 117 points and took 4 hours to play. I was here. I can vouch for it. Here comes the kickoff to Yorktown. It's high. It's deep. It's going to come down at about the goal line, and it's going to be a yard deep in the end zone for a touchback on a beautiful kickoff by Hubbard. Reed Hubbard kicked that time for Western, and he buried it a yard deep. Rittenhouse couldn't bring it out, and it's 1st and 10. Yorktown at the Tiger 20-yard line. Unreal.
Tigers get the ball on the 40-yard line.
Both teams have touched the ball once, and they both scored. Who does it next? On 1st and 10, twin wideouts near side, one far side with 2 backs to the right of Reed Neal. He puts a man in motion. They flip it up to Applegate, and the officials wave it dead. on a procedure penalty against Yorktown. That'll cost the Tigers 5.
Illegal procedure on Yorktown. 5-yard penalty.
This has the makings of one of those strange games. I was talking with Alex Stewart, the Western coach, before tonight, and said, you know, this has had so many weird plays in this season that I've never seen before in a game. And here we go. We've played a little over half a minute with 2 touchdowns and 2 penalties already. Man in motion for Yorktown to the near side. It's Spangler. There's a bubble screen to Applegate. Caught. 25-30. He'll be run out of bounds right there at around the marker. We'll see if he got enough.
Neal to bring Applegate.
They'll bring the marker up to about the 24-yard line. So it's a 9-yard gain on the throw from Neal to Applegate. And that makes it second down and about 6 yards to go. Ball on the near side hash. That's the left side as Yorktown moves right to left across your imagination on 2nd and 6. Handoff. Spangler, sweep right. He has room, running room, block on the corner. He's got the first down and more out to around the 33-yard line. Another 9-yard gain, this one on the ground by Spangler. And that makes it Yorktown 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. So the Tigers have their first drive of the night going. Hard to call a one-play possession a drive on 1st and 10. Now the ball on the far hash and a back on either side of Neal in the pistol. He'll hand off inside. Cut to the outside, then back inside. That might have been Hill. Let's wait and see as they unpile. It was Spangler, and he gained 2.
For a gain of 1 yard, tackled by a host of Panthers.
Up front for Yorktown, Holden Parsons is the center. Devin Thompson and Colton Yarger are the guards. Caleb Howell and Taylor Light are the tackles. 2nd and 8. Tiger ball trailing 7-6, 2 minutes into the game. Here's a toss back. It's going to be a gadget play. Neal's going to throw it down the far sideline. He's got a man out there, a handful of jersey. It's incomplete, but it's going to be pass interference. The defensive back out there, Nick Hackler, had a handful of green jersey, and the official saw it, and that's going to be a big one.
Neal with the pass to Austin Hill. Flag on the play. Pass interference.
That's going to be a first down by penalty for Yorktown. We'll see where they spot the ball. They're going to put it down at the Yorktown 49. Another first down for the Tigers, this one by penalty. And it's 1st and 10, Tigers at their 49, trailing 7-6. Ball on the far hash. This time a sweep right for Spangler, who cuts it back inside. Not much daylight. Got about 3 yards. Took it into Western territory after a gain of 3.
Moves the ball to the 48-yard line. 2nd and 7, Yorktown.
4 carries, 28 yards already for Spangler. Brings up 2nd and a fat 7, a short 8. Defensively for Western, Ashburn, Newman, Lucian, and Barry up front. We'll set the rest in their 4-3 scheme for you momentarily. Man in motion this way is Hunt. Here's Neal to throw. Man open here. He's got it at the 45-yard line and brought down right away, and the ball came out. Hunt couldn't hold it and complete the catch. It'll be an incomplete pass and bring up 3rd down. The rest of the Western defense, Lenahan, Bearden, and Alt are the backers. Hackler, Cottingham, Hayes, and Hartsoe are the secondary in their 4-3 scheme. It's 3rd and 8 for Yorktown at the Western 48. Over with the play clock down to 15 to the sideline. Let's see what he does. He's back between the running backs, and the play clock is at 10. Still plenty of time. Neal has the ball. Sets, throws across the way. It's incomplete. On a throw intended over there for Austin Hill. And that makes it 4th down.
7 for Yorktown.
So Neal is 1 out of his first 3, and that makes it 4th and long, and Yorktown sets up formation at the Western 48-yard line. One of the state's leading punters, Brant Applegate, back there to do the honors. He's averaging almost 40 yards a punt. He'll stand and wait on the snap at the Yorktown 38. Good snap, No pressure. It's a low wobbler kick, a fair catch signal, and a fair catch made at the 18-yard line. Western will get it back with 9:23 to go in the first quarter. It's the Panthers 7, the Tigers 6 on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
A wintry Friday night. A packed gymnasium in a tight-knit community. A shot taken. History made. A state of delirium? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Welcome to the ball game again. Tyler Nepley on the first down. Keeper for Western picks up 5 yards to make it 2nd and 5 as Panthers lead this one 7-6. The first of many carries tonight by Tyler Nepley, who has run for almost 1,700 yards this season already. He'll reset his team on 2nd and 5 from their 23. Nepley with an empty backfield will roll right, picks up the student body right. He's got daylight to the sideline, 45, run out of bounds at around the Yorktown side of the 50-yard line. They're going to spot him right at midfield on a terrific play of 27 yards. So there you have the Nepley we were all waiting to see on a 27-yard student body right for the first down of the night by the Panthers, and a fresh 4 downs right at midfield here, right in front of the press box, moving left to right. 7-6 game, Western in front by a point. It's Nepley again on the keeper. He goes left side, and this time Yorktown does a great job bottling him up after a gain of only 2. Make it 2nd and long.
Nepley on the carry, good for 2 yards.
It is all him, isn't it?
This game has been crazy already. We've had a fumble return by the same team for a touchdown and a kickoff return by the opponent for a touchdown. We've had a few penalties already, and we are exactly 4 minutes into the game. So watch out for this one. Nepley has carried as many as 49 times in a game this season. He's going to be a busy guy. 3 backs with him on 2nd and long. He hands off, sweep left side, running room to the pylon and over near the stick and out of bounds. It could be another first down. It looks like it will be very close. They'll mark him a yard short. Carry that time by Kitchell Gifford, and he picked up about 7.
Takes it to the 41-yard line.
Short yardage situation on 3rd and 1 here.
It's 3rd down, Tiger fans. On
Tigers need to get a stop. Panthers driving, leading 7-6. Here's Nepley, takes it straight behind the center, and he's got enough for the first down on a quarterback keeper that went 2 yards when he needed 1, and it's a fresh first down for the Panthers.
Tyler Nepley takes it in for a
terrific player.
That's good for a Western
Back-to-back first downs by the Panthers as they chew up real estate on the ground. They're a terrific running team. I think I figured up today that Nepley has had a hand in something like 70% of their total offense passing and running this year. He is the guy. 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Yorktown 39. 7:21 to go first quarter in a 7-6 contest. Panthers not in front by that single point. Here's a play-action pass. Left side, caught by Hubbard. He has enough for the first down. Fights forward to around the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 14 from Nepley to Hubbard. And another first down. That was a beautiful play-action fake. Hubbard was open on the far sideline, and it's the 3rd first down of this drive for Western. This drive began all the way back at their 18-yard line. They're now on the Yorktown 26 on 1st and 10. Nepley, Gibbs, sweep left side. It's Gifford again. He has room down the sideline, cuts back, goes to the end zone. Touchdown, unless he stepped out of bounds, and they're going to say he stepped out at the 10. Wow. Well, that costs you, but it's still a first down. You just don't get the points.
Takes it to the 10-yard line.
Wow.
That's good for a Western.
Another nice run by Gifford for Western. 4 of them now on this drive. They've been impressive running the ball, and a nice throw to go along with it. 1st and 10 Panthers in the red zone at the Yorktown 10-yard line. Ball on the far hash. Nipley calls for it. He'll sweep it this way. Running room to the corner. Inside the 10. Inside the end zone for Gifford. Touchdown Western. Kitchell Gifford goes the final 10 yards of the drive. The second touchdown of the night for Western. And we've got ourselves a 13-6 game. Looked more like Neil Gifford or Frank Gifford on that one. Nice run. I don't know if he was touched at all. On to try the PAT is Andrew Newman, and he hooked that one no good left. So there's your tit for tat on the missed PATs, and that could come in really, really important later in the game. 6:38 to go first quarter. It's Western 13, Yorktown 6 on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass-through. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Welcome back to Sectional 21 football. Brian Beaver along with you. We've had a lot of action already in a 13-6 game. Yorktown trailing. Western about to kick it away, and Reed Hubbard, big 6'4", 200-pounder, to kick it away, and Yorktown waiting on it deep in their territory with Rittenhouse at the 2. Long kick. This could be returnable. No, he backed into the end zone again. Rittenhouse caught it with his back foot in the end zone. That's a touchback. Yorktown will have to settle for the 20 to start this drive, their third of the night, trailing 13-6. That's where you almost tell your receiver, come in a yard, catch it high, and go, because that was a low-line drive kick with plenty of return in front of him if he can just get it inside the field of play. So Yorktown has work to do, trailing by a touchdown here, and the missed extra points are going to be big later on. Western missed one, Yorktown missed one. Still a 7-point game. So on 1st down and 10, Reed Neal with one back next to him. He'll hand it to that back. It's a straight-ahead run. I think Spangler got the call and the carry, and they'll umpile him after a short gain. Spangler got the call and the carry, a gain of 3. Jordan has been a busy guy already. 5 carries, 31 yards. He's the only Yorktown player to carry the ball. It was his fumble that set up the rest of the return by Applegate for the Yorktown score. Here's a 2nd down throw out in the flat, caught for a 1st down and taken all the way to the 33-yard line. Pretty throw and catch that time from Neal. Can't get a number on the receiver just yet. 30, it's going to be Stinson. And Stinson has a catch for a gain of around 11.
Tigers at the 32-yard line.
1st and 10 Tigers. They'll sweep it left side. Spangler with a block on the corner, but he runs into another player trying to cut off that block. And it'll be a short gain of 2. That one had potential to go a lot longer, but he mistimed his cut. And it's a gain of 2, closer to 3. 2nd down and long. Yorktown driving right to left here, midway through period number 1, trailing 13-7. Here's a whistle as the play is unfolding on the snap. Usually that's offside or procedure, and this time it's offside defense. Western with their 3rd penalty of the night already. And Yorktown will say, sure, give us the 5 to their 41. And instead of 2nd and long, it's 2nd and a short 2, more like a long 1. Let's see if they go to the air on 2nd and short. Great time to take a shot. Neal with one back next to him. Drops, looks right, throws right. It's a little screen out in the flat. It's caught. Outside with a nice cut. Hunt with a nice cut to the sideline, and he takes it all the way to the 45-yard line. That's a gain of 15 and a Tiger first down as they start another drive. Nice catch and run by Hunt from Neal. Reed looks pretty good for a guy who hasn't quarterbacked in 3 weeks. 3 Tigers already have a catch. 1st and 10, ball just inside the Western 45 with 5:09 to go in the first quarter. Tigers trailing 13-7. Deep drop. Neal now flushed, rolls right, picks it up. He's going to run to the sideline and runs out of bounds at around the 40-yard line. Neal made the right decision that time, used his speed to elude the rush, and got a 5-yard chunk of real estate on a scramble. Reed looks less than rusty. Make it 2nd and 5. Great to have you along tonight. Thanks for loaning me your ears for a while. Winner of this game gets the winner of Pendleton Heights against Lebanon. Here come the Tigers now on 2nd and 5 at the 40 in Western Territory. The handoff is straight ahead to Spangler, who trips going through the line, falls for a gain of 2, and it'll be 3rd and short. Seven carries, 35 yards unofficially for Spangler through the first 6+ minutes of the game. On 3rd and 3, Tigers will have triple wideouts here near side and one far side when running back there next to Neal. Looks like Rittenhouse. It's Spangler. They fake to him, and it's going to be a sack. Neal is taken down for a 3-yard loss on a nice play in there by Western. It's a sack -3 for Neal. And that brings up 4th and long. But now you're really almost where you could go and not really damage yourself too badly. 4th and 8 from the Western 43. Yorktown is going to line up as if they're going. They may just try to draw them offside. Triple wideouts here near side. That's left, and a man jumped offside for Western, and he knows it, and boy, is he a hot tamale. That was just a mistimed jump by Kevin Lenahan, who jumped in the neutral zone, and the 5 yards goes right back to Yorktown. And now it turns 4th and long into 4th and short, and a lot more convertible. 4 penalties already against Western for a total of 30 yards. And now it's 4th and 3. Yorktown ball at the Western 38. They need the 35 to roll it over with 3:40 to go first quarter. Western leads 13-6. Neal with one back next to him, and now one of the Yorktown linemen pulls out early and starts his pull left. That's not what the doctor ordered and not what the play call was, but Devin Thompson jumped early and talked about thanks for the 5. Here's the 5 back. Well, that's what happened. Moves the ball back to the 43 again. So one team says we will giveth, and the other says we will taketh away. Now Neal, as the Tigers go on 4th and 8. Neal drops. Now a whistle at the snap from the official here on the near sideline, and Mike Wilhelm's staff called a timeout just before the ball was snapped. We'll take the break with them. 3:10 to go first quarter. It's Western 13, Yorktown 6 on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. We'll be right back.
Ball, an elbow to the ribs, sudden flash of tempers. In sports, anything can happen in the heat of the moment. The Indiana High School Athletic Association reminds you that when cooler heads prevail, everybody wins. When the game heats up, will you keep your cool? This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Welcome back to the ball game off a Yorktown timeout. Here late in the first quarter, the Tigers face 4th down, 8 yards to go at the Western 43. It's a 13-6 game. Western out in front. Yorktown trying to change that. On 4th and 8, the Tigers are going to go with Neal in the pistol. 2 wideouts here on the near side, 1 far. He's going to roll this way. That's left against his body. He's going to throw over the middle. It's incomplete. Ball intended out here for, I believe, Hill. It's incomplete no matter what. It was either Hunt and his Hunt instead, and incomplete on 4th down. Well defended that time by Nick Hackler of Western. That gives the ball back on downs to Western as they lead 13-6 with 3:04 to go first quarter. Good to have you with us tonight. We had 2 touchdowns in the first 30-plus seconds of this game. And now Western with the ball at their 43, good field position. And here's a keeper by Nepler, and he runs across the midfield stripe to the Yorktown 49 for a gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and short.
Tackled by number 51, Devin Thompson.
Panthers have scored every time they've touched the ball tonight so far. They've got a 13-6 lead. On 2nd and short, man in motion across the way. They fake to him. Nepley keeps it, cuts it to the secondary. He's got a first down and more as he goes all the way to the Yorktown 41-yard line on a gain of 8 and another first down for the Panthers. Unofficially 52 yards on 6 carries for Nepley. Get used to hearing that name. He's going to carry it a lot tonight. A fresh first down, 4 to go. Panthers driving left to right. There's a handoff, a nice seam on the left side. This is trouble down the sideline. Just knocked out of bounds is Gifford, but he picks up another big chunk for a first down. Takes it all the way. Yard line on a gain of 20.
Good for another Western first down.
Big chunks of yardage. 1st and 10. Panther ball. Yorktown 21-yard line. 1 running back with Nepley in the backfield. They'll hand it to Gifford again. He'll sweep left side. A flag flies into the pile. Gifford's going to be bottled up and smashed out of bounds across the way. But the flag's sitting around the 16-yard line near where the tackle ended up being made. We'll wait on the signal. It's against Western. That'll wipe out another nice run.
Downs getting marched back 10 yards.
Holding against Western. 5 penalties already against the Panthers. You can't have that. That'll put the ball at the Yorktown 27-yard line with 2:04 to go in the first quarter. 5 penalties already by the Panthers. That's not a good sign. Here they come on 1st and long. Nepley, play action, flushed right. He'll dump it off. It's over here to Hubbard, who catches it and takes a rib shot right away from Hunt. So that's a short gainer. That takes it to the 23-yard line. Give him about a 5-yard gain, and it brings up 2nd and long. Hubbard is the primary receiver for the Western Panthers.
2nd 12.
2nd down, 12 yards to go for the Panthers at the Yorktown 23, leading 13-7 late first quarter. 2 backs with Nepley. Misdirection fake. He keeps it. Cuts it through the secondary. He's going to go to the house. Touchdown, Western. Tyler Nepley, 23 yards for the score. And Western is on the board again. And they continue to pile it up. They've scored every time they've had the ball tonight, and they lead 19-6. On to try the PAT. Andrew Freeman. He'll tee it up on the 10. Hold, kick. It's high, it's long, it's good. 1:15 to go in the first quarter. Panthers have broken it open. It's Western 20, Yorktown 6 on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel.
The clutch shot, the timely hit, the perfect pitch, the heroic catch, the brilliant save, the photo finish. The Indiana High School Athletic Association would like to remind you that the biggest plays in sports matter little if you don't practice sportsmanship. Character counts. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
Welcome back to the ball game. We have played just under 11 minutes of football, and we have 26 combined points already in this one as Western leads Yorktown now 20-6. Tigers need to answer back in the worst way. Keep in mind, Western will get the ball to start the second half after winning the coin toss and deferring. Here comes Hubbard. Kick. This one might be returnable for Rittenhouse. He'll catch it at the 2, fumble it, and picks it up at the 5. Upfield 15, cuts far side, trying to get to the 20, can't do it. He'll be dragged down on good coverage by the Panthers. 17 or 18-yard line. Well, at least you got to return, but you got to catch it clean, and they'll put it down at the 19. Tigers have had rough field position after that first possession. They're 20, they're 20, they're 19. They're losing the field position battle so far. Real Neal will run in and be ready to call this play. Tigers need a big play or a nice drive. They got to get a score now, trailing 20-6. Neal says, come in motion, Hunt. He goes in motion across the far side. Option play right. Pitch back to the trailer. Spangler has it around the right end, over near the stick as he's run out of bounds. At around the 30, maybe the 31-yard line. Let's see where they put him down. They're going to make him short. Apparently he stepped out of bounds. And they'll put him down at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Play was good for 6 yards. Second and
short. It's a short 5, a fat 4, if you will, with the ball at the Yorktown 24. They need to get out across the 30. There's movement on the line. Don't know if a flag flew. Sweep this way. That's left. Spangler cuts it, slips on the damp grass. Now that the dew starts to form, as the air cools off, Spangler nearly got to the first down marker. He's a yard short, so it's a gain of 5 for Spangler, and it's 3rd and short. 9 carries, 46 yards for Spangler so far. Yorktown has only thrown it 6 times. They've run it 11 more. 3rd and 1. Tigers have it at their own 29. Clock rolling down to the final 20 seconds of the first quarter. Stacked backfield, and Neal's going to keep it and run it left side to the short side of the field. I don't think he got there. Good defensive flow that time by Western. They got a nice defensive play out here by Hackler with help from Alt, and he's going to be about 6 inches short. They may measure this one. They've got it on the ground on the numbers here on the near side. The nose of that ball is awfully close to the pylon and the stick across the way. If it's 4th down, it's 4th and less than a foot. And the officials are going to say, bring it across. We want to measure.
An official timeout. They're going to bring the chains out.
So we're going to have our first measurement of the night with 14 seconds to go in the first quarter. Western leading 20-6. Yorktown scored on its first play from scrimmage, but not the usual way. They fumbled the ball in Applegate after seeing Spangler cough it up, picked it up and ran about another 40 yards with it for a touchdown. And then the ensuing kickoff was run back for a score by Western. 80-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Coleman. So we had 2 scores before the ink was even dry on the score sheet. And now they'll stretch the sticks and see if Yorktown has a first down or 4th and short. They'll put it down, and it's a first down by about 6 inches. So Spangler got just enough, or make it Neal, got just enough on that keeper to roll the sticks over. First down for Yorktown. Fresh 4 downs at their own 30. I have the Tigers for 4 first downs in the game. The officials wind the clock, and they may not get off another play. First period runs out. That's exactly what they're going to do. The final 2 seconds run off, and we're through period number 1 in sectional 21 in 4A. At the first break, it's Western out in front of Yorktown, 20-6 on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. We'll be right back.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
It's Western 20, Yorktown 6. As we move to the second period, the officials have moved the sticks and flipped the field, and Yorktown will have it 1st and 10. Driving left to right now toward the west end zone, trailing 20-6. Western has scored all 3 times it has touched the ball. Yorktown scored on its first touch, 3 straight drives with nothing to show for it, though. Let's see if they can change that. 10 at the Tiger 30. 2 men wide here near side. Hunt goes in motion across the way. Backs on either side of Neal. He'll hand it inside. Not much running room at all. I think Spangler shoves the pile ahead to around the 34, maybe the 35-yard line. Jordan got a tough 4 yards to make it 2nd and 6.
2nd and 5 for the Tigers.
Spangler's been a busy guy. 10 carries for him already in the game. And Neal will trot to the sideline and trot back to the formation and call the play from behind the center in the pistol with Spangler and Rittenhouse back there behind him. One wide far side, Spangler in motion this way. And now Neal will throw here on the near side. Applegate's got a screen, catches it, bobbles it, catches it again. You only get 1 catch though, Brandt. Nice try. 3-yard gain to make it 3rd and short.
Moves the ball to the 38-yard line.
I see how you are, Brandt. You want those 2 catches for 1.
For the Tigers.
No 2-for-1s tonight for the mayor of Yorktown. That brings up 3rd and short, though. The Tigers have it here at their own 38. Just into the second quarter, trailing 20-6. Running backs on either side of Neal. He'll send Hunt in motion across the way. Wide out on either side. Neal drops under pressure. Screen. Perfect call. Caught by Spangler. Up to midfield. He takes it into Western territory all the way to the 47-yard line. 16-yard gain. A 1st down for Yorktown on the perfect call for the blitz. Well done that time. That was the perfect call for that situation. It turned out great. Spangler with his first catch. Yorktown with 2 straight 1st downs. And they're driving at the Western 47-yard line. Here's a handoff to Spangler, sweeping right. He goes down right away. Great pursuit from the backside that time by Kevin Lenahan of Western to limit him to a yard. Well done.
Good for a yard.
You always tell those guys, stay home, but pursue the ball when it makes sense. And he did it really well. It's only a 1-yard gain, 2nd and long at the Western 46. I don't think we're done seeing touchdowns yet tonight. In the pistol, Neal, 5 yards behind the center, waiting on the snap again. Hunt in motion across the way, right to left. Neal with time. Pumps, fakes, rolls, under pressure, comes back the other way, dumps to Spangler, and he dropped it with nothing but grass in front of him, and he hits himself on the helmet with his hands like, you dummy, catch the ball. He'll get another chance. But boy, that could have been big yardage.
Pick the ball on the 47-yard line.
Make it 3rd and 9. Jordan had an 86-yard screen pass for a touchdown last week. Their only score at Mount Vernon. And I'll tell you what, the best part of the play was the blocking by Austin Hill. who made a great block at the line and ran down the field hustling and made another one. On 3rd and 9, Neal drops to throw. Here comes the blitz. He's in trouble. He doubles back, rolls left, still needs help. He's headed for the sideline. He dumps it off. Pass thrown out here in the flat, intended for Hill. Incomplete. Reed did the smart thing and just dumped it instead of taking a loss. Good heady play, and it's 4th down. Neal 5 out of his first 10 through the air for 54 yards. That brings up a punting situation for Yorktown with the line of scrimmage, the Western 46. This will be the second punt of the night for Applegate if he follows through and kicks it, standing at his 41. No pressure, high, wobbly kick toward the near sideline. It'll be out of bounds, and they'll walk that back up toward midfield. It's going to be a short kick, and Applegate now hitting himself in the head as they spot it out. They'll walk it up the field and wait for the signal. And, boy, look at that. They lose a lot of yardage all the way to the 28-yard line. We'll keep it right here. So the kick went way out of bounds, and Western has good field position at their 28-yard line. We have 8:45 to go in the second quarter. It's Western out in front of Yorktown, 20-6. Panthers will have a fresh drive starting at their 28-yard line. They scored on the kickoff the first time they touched it. They scored on an 82-yard drive, on a 57-yard drive, and now starting at their 28 with a 20-6 lead. Yorktown could use a turnover here. There's an option play, right? Nepley's going to keep it. Pushes the pile, gets a block. He's in the clear. 50, 45, 40. Rittenhouse is the only guy who's got a shot at him. To the 20, to the 10, to the end zone. Referee falls and now signals touchdown. Western on a big one. 72-yard touchdown run by Nepley. His second straight touchdown run. And that one is going to blow the game open early in the second quarter. Wow. Well, Nepley he's every bit as advertised. Freeman on to try the PAT. Here on the left end of the stadium, that's the east end facing the woods. Here comes the kick. It's up. It looks good. It is good. 8:17 to go in the second quarter. Western has broken this one open. It's the Panthers 27, the Tigers 6 at Tiger Stadium on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the ball game. 8:17 to go in the second quarter. Western has blown this game open on another long touchdown run by Nepley. 72 yards for the score this time. Freeman with 2 kicks in a row. And Western is in the driver's seat. 27-6. Yorktown awaiting the kickoff. It's a deep, long kick to the far side, taken at the 10-yard line. Rittenhouse. No, it's not Rittenhouse. It's another player, but out to the 20, and that's all. These Yorktown jerseys are tough to read. The font's very narrow. It's Hunt on the return of about 10 yards line. So again, we go back to the field position topic, and you look at this. Yorktown, the last 4 at their 20, at their 20, at their 19, at their 20.
From the 20-yard line, Tigers get the ball.
Not what you want when you're trailing big. Tigers need a drive, need a score. Try to narrow this down before you go to the locker room at halftime. Trailing by 21 points. Running back on either side of Neal in the pistol with a man in the slot here near side and a man white near side. Handoff goes inside, right between the guards, and a push to the pile all the way to the 25-yard line. Gain of around 3-4 yards. They're going to give him 4. Him being Spangler. Second down, 6 yards to go. Tigers need a spark. Here's the throw to the flat. Caught out here in the open field and taken to the 31-yard line. Good catch by Stinson. He takes it out to the first down yardage and beyond, all the way to the 32-yard line. So give Yorktown a first down through the air on the completion from Neal to Stinson with his second catch. And that gives them a 1st and 10 at the Yorktown 32. Tigers need to drive all the way down the field. Get some momentum going. They haven't had much since that opening touchdown. Here's a handoff to Spangler, left side, breaks into the secondary. He's going to be just short of the first down as he drives all the way to the 41-yard line. That's a gain of around 7 or 8. Second and short. Spangler's been a busy guy. 13 carries already for him. Better part of 8 yards on the gain. Ball sitting right on the Yorktown 40 as they drive it left to right, trailing 27-6 with 6:53 to go before halftime. Handoff left side, Spangler, stutter steps, nowhere to go. He's buried for a loss of about 2. Good defensive surge that time by the Panthers. All the way back to the 39 now, and that brings up 3rd and about 4. Tigers scored in the first 20 seconds of this game. But since then, it's been all Panthers. Clock rolling, 6:18, second quarter. Yorktown will bring a man in motion. There goes a flag right before the snap. It's going to be a procedure penalty against Yorktown.
Flag on the play. False start by Yorktown.
That'll cost the Tigers 3 penalties, 15 penalty yards. And in week 10, you can't have that. Plain and simple. You can't. You can't win that way. 3rd down, 8 yards to go now. Ball all the way back at the Yorktown 34. Tigers need something positive in the worst way. Neal will drop, roll right. He's under pressure, throwing a deep ball. No one out there but a defender. It's tipped. It's go! It's almost caught. 3 men tipped the ball. 2 defenders tipped it. It went squirting through the hands of a Yorktown receiver who was behind everyone. Stinson trying to catch the wet bar of soap. Couldn't put the clamps on it. That could have gone for a touchdown. That would have been your momentum play. Just incomplete. Wow. Well, you know what? Sometimes you get the breaks and sometimes they get you. Back to punt for the 3rd time tonight is Applegate. Line of scrimmage, the Yorktown 35. Deep man for Western at his 35. Here's the kick. Low, wobbler. It's going to hit and it's going to roll. Tigers will let it roll. And out. I'm telling you, as an ex-punter, you love those. Rolls all the way to the sideline at the 22-yard line. So that is it. Tigers kill the ball right there. Western will get it right there. We'll take the break. It's Panthers 27, Tigers 6 on Beaver Media and Delco Preps channel.
Who do I play high school softball for? I play for my mom and dad who've never missed a game.
Whether they're playing for their teammates, their classmates, or their community, high school student athletes in Indiana learn important lessons they'll use for the rest of their lives, like respect for the rules and the value of hard work and sacrifice. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the ball game. A first down carry by the quarterback, Tyler Nepley. Goes only for a yard as he tried to sweep it right, and Yorktown ran him down with a nice defensive play. That's about as good as you can do with Nepley. Hold him to a yard. You'll take that any day of the week. And it's 2nd and 9. As the Tigers go to defense and the Panthers take the ball again, leading 27-6 with 5 minutes and 10 seconds before halftime. Nepley in the shotgun. He'll stop. fakes the handoff, rolls right. He's going to get rid of it after nearly being sacked, and we've got a late flag flying in. Is that going to be roughing the passer? Wow, a Yorktown defender was there to yank him down as he threw it away. Let's wait and see if it is roughing the passer. We'll wait for the official signal as the referee walks toward the press box here, the good guy in the white hat. Here it is. Roughing the passer.
Intentional grounding.
I was going to say it can't be roughing the passer. It's intentional grounding, and it's against Western. That's a loss of down call. Wow, unreal. Well, the only thing Western hasn't done well tonight is stay out of the penalty box. They've had a bunch of them. Now the officials will confer one more time before they put the ball down, and they're asking, where do you put it down? That's a spot foul, I believe. So it ought to be back near between the 10 and the 15-yard line. And they are going to march him backward. You hear the beeping of the forklift in reverse. That's going to send the ball all the way back inside the Western 10. Wow. Big loss. All the way to the 8-yard line.
Third down for the Panthers.
Unreal. Third and about 25 for the Panthers. They need to get it to their own 33. They've got it at the 8. Pretty good math. Off the top of my head, I'll take it at this age. Empty backfield for Nepley. He'll drop. Looks to throw. Screen set up right side. He overthrew his man out of bounds, trying to hit Gifford. He's not happy about it, is Nepley. That brings up 4th and long. So for the first time tonight, Yorktown has held on downs and is going to get the ball back. It's the first time Western has had the ball and not scored. And they could still fake here, but I don't think they will. They'll line up to punt it. Their punter is 3 yards deep in his end zone. So do you rush and try to get a block, or do you set up a return and take the good field position? We're about to find out. Hubbard is the punter. He's got it. Here it comes. Low wobbly spiral. It's going to be caught on the fly at the 40. It's returnable. Brought this way to the 35. Down to the 30. Taken down at the 20. I think that's Austin Hill.
Austin Hill receives the ball.
Is it Hill or Spangler?
29-yard line.
It's Hill. I'm doing all right. Nice return. So Yorktown gets good field position for the first time really tonight. They've got it at the Western 28-yard line. And they need every break they can get right now, trailing 27-6 with 4:47 to go in the first half. Tigers scored on their opening snap and have had zip to show for it since then. Here's Neal. Throws here on the near side, caught by Applegate. He cuts by a man, takes it inside the 20 to around the 19. That's going to be close to a first down. It is a first down on a gain of 10. It's going to be more than that. 11 and a Yorktown first down. Nice throw and catch from Neal to Applegate, his third reception. And it's 1st and 10 Yorktown. The first down battle is pretty close so far. Yorktown needs a score here in the worst way with 2 men wide left for Neal. One back next to him is Spangler. They'll hand it to Spangler. He'll cut it inside, takes it into the interior defense down around the 14-yard line. That's about a 4-yard gain for Jordan Spangler. One of my most loyal Twitter followers. Thanks a lot, Jordan. And that brings up 2nd and long. Western has scored on big plays, most of them by their all-everything quarterback, Tyler Nepley.
7 yards to go.
Tigers looking to get even closer here, trailing 27-6 late first half. Neal, option play near side, pitch back to Spangler, cuts near side, takes it down the sideline, down around the 5 before being run out of bounds. Another Yorktown first down. They'll put the ball at the 5 on a 9-yard run by Spangler on the option play. 16 carries, 74 yards unofficially for Spangler. Another Yorktown first down. I've got him for 10 unofficially, and that brings up 1st and 10 in the red zone with Yorktown sitting at the Western 5-yard line. You got to get points here. You can't come away empty here. You got to score. Plain and simple, trailing 27-6. Neal calls for the snap. keeps it, gives it to Spangler, sweeping left side. It's a race to the end zone. Can he get there? He dives to the pylon. The official across the way says no, just short. Spangler took it to around the 1 yard line.
Takes it to the 1 yard line.
Second and goal.
It's second and goal.
They're going to give him 3. That's a fat 1, a short 2. We'll give him 3. Second and goal at the 2. 77 yards unofficially for Spangler early in the game. Yorktown trying to get a score here. They scored on their opening play. They went dormant for the rest of the first half until now. 3:44 to go before halftime. Here's a handoff inside. Spangler churning his way toward the end zone. Is he there? Yes! Touchdown, Yorktown. Jordan Spangler finishes off the drive with a 2-yard score. And that makes it Western 27, Yorktown 12. Tigers cap off a nice short 28-yard drive for a score. And we'll see what they do with the extra point here. I think you're probably going to see them go for 2 at this point in the game, but we'll wait and see. Spangler picks up his 5th rushing touchdown of the year. That's a team best, and Yorktown is going to line up for 2 and go for 2, trailing 27-12. They'll put the ball right in the middle of the crown with Neal under center. He'll fake it, roll right, looking for a receiver. He's going to keep it and cut it into the pylon. Neal got there first. He gets the points. Yorktown gets all 8 on this trip, and that's what the doctor ordered. 3:38 to go in the first half. Yorktown narrows the gap. It's Western 27, Yorktown 14 on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass-through. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Welcome back to the ball game. We have 3:38 left in the first half. Yorktown took advantage of its defensive stand and a short punt and great field position and drove it 28 yards for a touchdown. A couple of first downs on the way to a Jordan Spangler 2-yard dive for a touchdown. Reed Neal with the option keeper to the far corner, and he got it in for 2 points. And now all of a sudden that missed PAT by Western looms in a 27-14 contest. Tigers to kick it away. Mitchell Dulworth from the middle of the field on the X at the 40. Here comes his approach to kick it left and right. There it goes. It's a short one taken by a short man at the 39, and he'll fall on it right there. You'll take that every day of the week from your short man. And that was a heady play from Nathaniel Liddell. And Western has terrific field position again at the Panther 38-yard line.
Puts the ball on the.
So let's see if Yorktown can get 2 stops in a row.
First and 10 Western.
They need some defense in this game. Nepley has had a typically Nepley kind of night for the Panthers. I've got him for 158 yards and 2 scores already, unofficially, on 9 carries. So we're set to go. Panthers are on the field offensively, ready to run their first play of this drive, starting at their own 38. We have 3:36 left in the second quarter. Nepley will have Gifford wide here on the near side. Hubbard wide, if you call it that, on the right. They'll give it to Gifford, sweep it right. He's got some daylight off tackle on the right side, and he pounds it ahead for a nice, tough 3 to 4 yard run out to around the 43-yard line.
Good for 4 yards. Number 16,
Tough run inside for Gifford. He's also got a bunch. And we'll give you that total momentarily. 2nd and 5.
Second 6.
Bunched up offensively. The Panthers an offense in a phone booth right now, and they hand to Gifford, and the Yorktown defense says, you're not going anywhere, buddy. The Yorktown interior defense, that was a nice defensive play. The Aaron Willis hit there led the charge, and that's no gain, and it brings up 3rd and medium. Nice play that time by Willis.
3rd down and 6 yards to go.
3rd and a fat 5, a short 6. Ball at the Western 30, make it the 43. They've got to get out across the 49 to pick it up. See if they go to the air on 3rd down. 2 men wide here, near side, 1 tight on the far side. With Nepley waiting on the play clock at 2, he's got a snap, and now he does. He keeps it, runs straight ahead. He's got the 1st down as he takes it to midfield. He needed 6, he got 7. 1st and 10 Panthers.
Takes it to the midfield, the 50-yard line, moves the chains.
He's a terrific runner. There's no doubt about that. He's everything he was advertised to be and more. Another 1st down for the Panthers. 1st and 10 right on the midfield stripe. As they move it right to left. Another keeper for Nepley. He tried to cut back and slipped. His cleats went out from under him after a gain of 1, if that.
Tackled at the goal line.
Closer to no gain, and it's 2nd and 10. Seems the only way to stop Nepley is with some damp turf. Kid's awful good. 2nd down, 9 yards to go for the Panthers. $1:41 to go before halftime. The Panthers lead 27-14. Tigers from Yorktown need some kind of a play to get the ball back for their offense. Nepley has the snap. He'll roll right, has a convoy, cuts behind a blocker, doesn't pick up the 1st down. He only got about 3, if that. And it's going to be 3rd and long. Let's see if they marked him out of bounds. They did. They said he stepped out after a gain of a yard. So it's 3rd and long. And 0 and 1 on back-to-back runs by Nepley. And boy, you'll take that every day and then some for Yorktown. 3rd and 8, closer to 9, and now a whistle and a timeout as the clock stops. Timeout taken by Western, the first time they've stopped the clock in the first half. We'll take a quick break. 1:03 to go before halftime. It's Western 27, Yorktown 14 on Beaver Media and on Delco Preps channel.
The clutch shot, the timely hit, the perfect pitch, the heroic catch, the brilliant save, the photo finish. The Indiana High School Athletic Association would like to remind you that the biggest plays in sports matter little if you don't practice sportsmanship. Character counts. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
Welcome back to the ball game. We have 1:03 to go before halftime. Western burns its first time out in the first half to stop the clock at 1:03, and a big call here on 3rd and 9. Panthers have the ball at the Yorktown 48. They need to get it inside the 40. So they need at least 8, if not 9. Man wide here on the near side is Gifford, who'll go in motion. They fake to him. Play action throw. Man down the middle is open. Hubbard's got it. 30, 25. Stiff arms Rittenhouse, but goes all the way to the 15-yard line. 33-yard pickup on the throw from Nepley to Hubbard. 3rd catch, another 1st down. That'll stop the clock temporarily as they move the sticks. And that puts it in the red zone, and now I think we've had a timeout taken by Western. We'll keep it right here. So a nice throw by Nepley, and we've seen that play on video. If you look at the highlights from their Hamilton Heights game, that's exactly the pattern they run. They get him in a seam in the middle between the linebacker and a DB. He's 6'4". Throw it up and let him high point it, and he's really good at it. 3 out of 3 in the air for Nepley to go along with all of his yardage on the ground. 3 out of 3 for 52 unofficially. All of them to Hubbard, his favorite receiver. And he's run for another 166, has Nepley, on a dozen carries. So Mr. Total Yardage is in business again. Second of 3 timeouts taken by Western. They've got 1 to work with. And, you know, you've got a chance to throw balls down here and stop the clock. You could get 4 or 5 more snaps down here. 54 seconds to go before halftime. Ball on the near hash. That's the left side as the offense looks at the field. Nepley with Wing back to his right, a fullback to his right, a wide out to his left. Sends him in motion. It's Gifford. They hand it to him. He sweeps right, gets a block, cuts it upfield, down around the 10, inside the 10 to around the 9-yard line.
21, Kishel Gifford on the carry.
It'll be second down.
Takes the ball to the 10-yard line. 2nd and 5, Western.
Here comes the next one. They're hurrying. Another handoff, left side, make it right side as Gifford tried to sweep across the way. Only got a yard or two. The clock burning down to 24 seconds to go, and there's the whistle and the timeout. They're going to take their last one by the Panthers. That'll stop the clock with 22 seconds to go. We'll take the break. 27-14 game. Western out in front on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Indiana high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We head for the final 22 seconds of the first half. A high-scoring first half as Western leads Yorktown 27-6. I'll make it 27-14. And big play coming up here on 3rd and short at the Yorktown 8-yard line. Panthers can get a first down without scoring. They need 3 yards for the first down. They need 8 yards for the touchdown. They've burned their final timeout. Here's Nepley keeping it. Student body left. Heads for the pylon. It's a foot race, and he wins it. Touchdown, Western. 7-yard touchdown run for Nepley. His 3rd score of the game, and that makes it a 33-14 game. Just before halftime. Nice drive by the Panthers. We'll see what they do with their extra point. Are they going to kick it? Go for 2. They're going to go for 2. Nepley waiting on the snap. He keeps it. He gives it instead to Gifford. Gifford's going to race to the right side, a beautiful fake, and he goes to the pylon for the 2-point run. 17 seconds to go before halftime. All of a sudden, Western answers back. It's the Panthers 35, Yorktown 14 on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. Don't go away.
The world of high school sports is filled with athletes who possess the eye of the tiger and whose focus and determination enables them to soar like eagles. The games themselves can't be played without a few zebras. Becoming an IHSAA official is a great way to be part of the action and to support Indiana's healthy tradition of high school athletics. Visit IHSAA.org and get in the game. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in your community.
Western has widened its lead over Yorktown to 35-14 with the 2-point conversion after the touchdown. We've got ourselves a conventional looking score at 35-14. Panthers about to kick it away. Yorktown looking for a bolt of lightning in the bottle. They have returned kicks for touchdowns this year. They've done it on interceptions as well. Rittenhouse has a lot of elusiveness. He's waiting on the kick. Here it comes. It's a ground ball down the middle towards short. It's going to be picked up around the 18-yard line. Straight ahead to the 25, 30, 35, and out around the 37-yard line on a nice return. I believe that was Hill. It was not. It was Hunt. Hunt takes it to the 37. And they've got 13 seconds to work with here. Let's see if Neal goes to the air with a long ball. Or do you pull out a gadget play? Something tricky here right before halftime, trailing by 3 scores. Yorktown will send 2 men wide here on the near side, 1 wide on the far side. One running back with Reed Neal. Trips right, as a matter of fact, with Stinson in the slot. Now a man in motion. Neal looks right, has a man. He's going to throw it out to Rittenhouse, dumps it. He's got it to the 35, spins his way back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And we've got a whistle, and I believe Yorktown has called a timeout, and they have, with 5 seconds to go in the half.
Timeout, Yorktown.
The pass was good for a 2-yard gain from Neal. To Rittenhouse. Tigers burn the timeout. Their second one of the first half. They'll have it 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8 really, at their own 38. Time for one more play unless there's a defensive penalty, and then you might get 2. Yorktown trails 35-14 as offense huddled around Mike Wilhelm, who's been here at head coach now for 13 years. He's done a really nice job. But his team has a lot to dig out of, trailing 35-14. And now you think about your best pass play, maybe your best gadget play. That's your own 38. They're ready to go. Both teams have broken the huddles. They're back and ready to play. Ball on the near hash. That's the right side as the offense looks at it. 2 men wide near side, 1 wide far side. That's the left. 1 running back next to Neal in the pistol. He waits on the snap. He's got it. He looks left. He looks right. Now he's looking downfield in the middle under a pressure rush, and he's going to run it out of bounds with a second left on the clock, and they'll get 1 more snap, but that's a big loss all the way back inside the Yorktown 30.
With 1 second left.
Wow. That's a 9-yard loss. And a sack. Not sure who'll get credit for it. Second sack of the night by the defense from Western. And now you've got 3rd and about 17 at the Yorktown 29. They need their own 46 to roll it over, and they've got 1 second. This will be the last play of the half, barring a defensive penalty. Neal will take the snap. Clock runs out. This is a live ball. He'll throw down the middle. He's got a man. It's Hunt. It's tipped, and it's incomplete. Reached up with his left hand, couldn't get it down, and the incomplete pass brings an end to the first half. 24 minutes of football has come and gone, and so far it's going Western's way at halftime. It's the Panthers ahead of the Tigers, 35-14. We'll be back with the halftime show after this timeout. You're listening to high school sectional football on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
From Jamestown to Jonesville, from North Salem to South Milford, from River Forest to Grass Creek. No matter where you live in Indiana, you can enjoy high school sports coverage at its very best on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. It's 35 powerhouse radio stations, Fox Sports Indiana, and the World Wide Web, combining their vast resources to blanket the state, the Midwest, and the world with the purest, most riveting presentation of high school sports in America. From Anderson to Attica, Kendallville to Kokomo, follow the high school sports that make our state great all season long. Thank you, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, and welcome home.
Hey, honey, is this your course schedule for the fall?
Yep.
Let me see here. English, good. Chemistry, trigonometry, excellent. World history. Oh, I love world history. Baseball? Wait. Baseball? Baseball isn't a course, honey.
Well, sure it is, Mom. High school sports are about so much more than winning and losing. They teach lessons that can't be taught in a classroom, like accountability and self-discipline, the value of teamwork. I may not be earning a grade, but I'm learning how to compete later in life. Isn't that what getting a good education is all about?
Yes, of course it is. I was just testing you.
What can teenagers here in Indiana learn from participating in high school sports? Plenty, as it turns out. That's why they're called education-based athletics.
High school sports. There's so much more than just a game.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. There's still a place There's still a place where performance is enhanced by extra effort, not by performance-enhancing drugs. There's still a place where contracts are between coaches and players. The terms are non-negotiable. There's still a place where an edge is something you gain by working harder than your opponent. There's still a place where sport is pure. That place is the high school in your community. At the Indiana High School Athletic Association, we believe that while competition can be fierce, it doesn't change the fact that it's only a game. The goal may be to win, but the point is to have fun. And if you want to be reminded of just how great sports can be when they're played the right way, then the place to be is at a high school sporting event in your community. High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message made possible by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
We hear it more and more when people talk about sports. We need to change the culture. No more integrity taking a backseat to performance. No more players, coaches, and fans run amok. No more too big to fail. It sounds good. It sounds reasonable. Come to think of it, it sounds like high school sports. At the Indiana High School Athletic Association, we know that sports are just part of a student-athlete's overall education and that there's more to the game than winning. We also know that high school sports are incredibly exciting. They're rich with tradition and bring communities together like nothing else. In a word, they're pure. More and more, that's what people want. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport. This message brought to you by the Indianapolis Colts, the IHSAA, and the high schools in this community.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. There's just one place where a team is more than a group of individual agendas. It's a catalyst for demonstrating the potential of the collaborative spirit. There's just one place where players, coaches, and fans experience the exhilaration that happens when an entire community rallies behind the school team. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. In addition, high school sports help young people in Indiana develop the discipline and confidence they need to be leaders in life, even as they unite communities like nothing else. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. Presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We're at halftime at Tiger Stadium in Yorktown. It's been a high-scoring first half as Western leads at the break over Yorktown 35-14 in a wild one, especially in the first quarter. Big total offense advantage in the first half for the Western Panthers, almost 2-1. And they scored 4 straight times to start the game tonight, and they've only had the ball one time that they did not score. So they've been very, very good offensively tonight, and the biggest part of that is their quarterback, Tyler Nepley, who came in 4th in the state in rushing with 1,643 yards, and he has almost 200 at halftime tonight in this one against Yorktown. So unofficially, you look at the team numbers first of all. We'll cap those for you in a 35-14 game, and as you might guess, mostly Western's way. Penalties, 7 by the Panthers, 3 by Yorktown. First downs, 13 unofficially for Western, 11 unofficially for Yorktown. We haven't had a fumble lost in this game. We have had a fumble. I'll get to that momentarily. No interceptions, 1 punt by the Panthers, 3 punts by Yorktown. I mentioned the fumble because on the opening play of the game, Yorktown gave the ball to Jordan Spangler, who ran for about 13 yards, then fumbled it. And Johnny on the spot, Brad Applegate, picked it up on the dead run at the 40-yard line and ran the last 40 yards for a Yorktown touchdown. And most fannies weren't even in the seats yet, and Yorktown had its first score of the game 19 seconds into the game. They missed the extra point and led 6-0, and that was their only lead so far tonight. It's been all Western since then. But those are the offensive team numbers at halftime. Total yardage at halftime offensively, 286 for Western, 153 for Yorktown. Individually for Western, Nepley, 3 out of 3 throwing for 52 yards. All 3 balls caught by his favorite receiver, Reed Hubbard, 3 for 52. Rushing the ball, 13 carries for Nepley, 173 yards, 3 scores, 23, 72, and 7. Another touchdown by Gifford, who has rushed the ball 7 times for 61 yards and a 10-yard touchdown. The other touchdown belongs to the special teams. It's a kickoff return for a touchdown by Coleman, who took back the kickoff and scored on an 80-yard run of his own. And at 11:31 of the first quarter, we'd had 2 touchdowns in 29 seconds. And the extra point from Freeman was good for Western, and that's where they took the lead at 7-6, and they have not looked back ever since. So again, 286 total yardage offensively first half for Western. For Yorktown, Reed Neal, 8 out of 15 throwing the ball, 74 yards. He's done a good job spreading the ball around. 5 different Tigers have at least 1 catch. Hunt, 1 catch for 15. Stinson, 2 for 18. Applegate, 3 for 23. Spangler, 1 for 16. Rittenhouse, 1 for 2. And rushing the ball, carries for a net -5. He's been sacked twice. That'll go as team yardage. Spangler, the only other guy to carry the ball tonight for Yorktown from scrimmage, 18 carries, 79 yards. His last carry was the 2-yard touchdown that got him a little closer there late in the first half. So Spangler, 18 carries, 79 yards, and the other Yorktown touchdown. Of course, he would love to have more than that, and maybe he'll get more in the second half. We'll wait to see how it all plays out. But Yorktown trailing by 3 scores at halftime. And really, to be frank about it, if they don't find a way to contain Nepley, it's going to be awful tough. Getting 3 scores, you have to score 3 more times than they do, no matter how many they do. So you got to really think about pitching a shutout in the second half if you can, if you're Yorktown, and that's going to be awful tough against the outstanding running of the Western quarterback, Tyler Nepley. He's a pretty good-sized kid, 6'2" and 190. He is a senior, and he can play. He's an outstanding player in his own right. So if you don't bottle up Nepley, it's going to be a long, long night. And don't forget, the coin toss tonight was won by Western, and they deferred, so they're going to get the ball to start the second half not too far from now. We got about 5 minutes on the game clock before we start the third quarter. So a tall order for Yorktown as they trail 35-14. We'll take a break, set things up for the third quarter. After this timeout, we'll be back with it here on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. Don't go away.
Have you noticed? Sports today are different. Today's athletes are bigger and stronger. They run faster, jump higher, and hit harder than ever before. But there is one thing that hasn't changed about sports, and that's the importance of practicing sportsmanship. At the Indiana High School Athletic Association, we like to remind you that winning isn't everything. The way you play matters, and a true champion plays the game with respect. For the opponent, for the coaches, and for the officials. True champions practice sportsmanship with the same degree of intensity that they play the games themselves. Sports may evolve, athletes may change, but the mark of a true champion will always be the same. Play like a champion. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
We're at halftime at Tiger Stadium in Yorktown. It's Western 35, Yorktown 14. Brian Beaver along with you again tonight. Great to have you along for the ride. Appreciate your support of high school sports all season long. Reminder again that we'll have 4A volleyball regional action tomorrow as number 1 Yorktown takes on number 5 Zionsville. at the Muncie Fieldhouse. That's the second of 2 semifinal matches scheduled to open at around noon tomorrow. And winner of that one is going to go probably pretty far in the state tournament in a loaded 4A. One of those 2 teams could very easily be the North semi-state representative at Worthen Arena first weekend of November. Let's recap the scoring for you. First quarter, 11:41, Yorktown. Touchdown for Applegate, who picked up the fumble by Spangler and ran another 40 yards for the score. Dulworth missed the PAT attempt, and it was 6-0 Yorktown. Yorktown kicked it off. Coleman picked it up. And before you could say, where did he go? Josh Coleman went to the end zone. 80 yards on the return. Freeman's kick was good. Western led 7-6 with 11:31 to go in the first quarter. 2 more scores in the first period, both by Western. A 10-yard run by Gifford capped off a drive from 10 yards out at 6:38 of the first. The kick was no good. Western led 13-6. Western scored once more in the first quarter at 1:15 on a 23-yard run by Nepley. Freeman kicked the extra point, and it was 20-6 Western, and that's where the first quarter scoring ended. 3 scores in the second quarter, 2 by Western, 1 by Yorktown. The Panthers got on the board at 8:17 of the second on a 72-yard keeper by Nepley. Freeman's extra point was good, 27-6 Western. 2:38 make it 3:38 to go before halftime. Yorktown got its second score of the night, a 2-yard run by Jordan Spangler capped off a nifty little drive of 28 yards. Neal ran for the 2-point conversion. It was 27-14, and Yorktown was in the game. But just before halftime, Western got the drive going and took their timeouts and managed to get a 7-yard touchdown run from Nepley. 2-point conversion, and with 17 seconds before halftime, Western was back in front by 3 scores, 35-14, and that's where we stand going to the third period. It's going to be Western getting the ball to start the third quarter. Yorktown already back on the field stretching. Western will be joining them shortly. We'll take another break and come back with the start of the second half after this timeout on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel.
Winning isn't everything. Championships are great, but there's more to sports than separating the world into winners and losers. The way we play matters too. You can choose gamesmanship, or you can choose sportsmanship. Gamesmanship is another way of saying whatever it takes. You know the types. They taunt their opponents. Throw the occasional elbow for good measure. Whatever it takes to gain the upper hand. Sportsmanship relies less on underhanded tactics and more on things like strategy, skill, and smarts. It's less about stooping to trickery and more about rising to the occasion. Gamesmanship or sportsmanship? Both can lead to victory, but only one represents the true measure of a champion. Play like a champion. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
From Jamestown to Jonesville, from North Salem to South Milford, from River Forest to Grass Creek. No matter where you live in Indiana, you can enjoy high school sports coverage at its very best on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. It's 35 powerhouse radio stations, Fox Sports Indiana, and the World Wide Web, combining their vast resources to blanket the state, the Midwest, and the world with the purest, most riveting presentation of high school sports in America. From Anderson to Attica, Kendallville to Kokomo, follow the high school sports that make our state great all season long. Thank you, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, and welcome home.
There's still a place where performance is enhanced by extra effort, not by performance-enhancing drugs. There's still a place where contracts are between coaches and players. The terms are non-negotiable. There's still a place where an edge is something you gain by working harder than your opponent. There's still a place where sport is pure. That place is the high school in your community. At the Indiana High School Athletic Association, we believe that while competition can be fierce, it doesn't change the fact that it's only a game. The goal may be to win, but the point is to have fun. And if you want to be reminded of just how great sports can be when they're played the right way, then the place to be is at a high school sporting event in your community. High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message made possible by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
We hear it more and more when people talk about sports. We need to change the culture. No more integrity taking a backseat to performance. No more players, coaches, and fans run amok. No more too big to fail. It sounds good. It sounds reasonable. Come to think of it, it sounds like high school sports. At the Indiana High School Athletic Association, we know that sports are just part of a student-athlete's overall education and that there's more to the game than winning. We also know that high school sports are incredibly exciting. They're rich with tradition and bring communities together like nothing else. In a word, they're pure. More and more, that's what people want. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport. This message brought to you by the Indianapolis Colts, the IHSAA, and the high schools in this community.
Welcome back to Tiger Stadium in Yorktown. We're about set for the second half of tonight's do or die sectional game. The winner of this one gets the winner of Lebanon Pendleton Heights. Right now it looks like it's Western's to lose, leading Yorktown 35-14, but stranger things have happened. Western will get the ball to start things here in the second half. They won the opening coin toss tonight and deferred, and Yorktown got the ball early and scored right away 20 seconds into the game. So Western will go back to work when they receive the kick, and really, as I said earlier, you got to stop Tyler Nepley. If you don't have a chance to win this game. You got to stop him, at least contain him. And as I said a little while ago, if you're 3 scores down, you got to score 3 and hold them completely just to tie the game. And I don't think you're going to hold them completely. They've shown signs of just being as good an offense as you're going to see. And you're going to have to really, really score a lot in the second half if you're Yorktown to have a shot at winning this game. You probably have to score almost every time you get the ball the rest of the game and hold them to 7 maybe or none to give yourself a chance. Mitchell Dulworth teed up the ball, walked away from it, and it fell off the tee. That's kind of illustrative of what Yorktown has gone through tonight. He's got it back on the tee. They'll kick it left to right here. Still not a lick of wind on a very calm night. You have to move your hands to create a breeze. Western waiting on the kick. Their deep man at their 20. And it's Coleman, and he's dangerous. Here comes the approach. Dulworth with the kick. It's low. It'll go over his short man who touched it and roll toward the sideline. I hope they saw him touch it. They throw a flag because the kick went out of bounds. I think he touched that ball. That should not be a penalty. Let's see what they do. One of the short, Mike Wilhelm is saying he touched the ball, and he did. It went right through his fingertips at about the 30-yard line, and I can't believe no one saw that. Let's just see how they do this. Well, the officials say we didn't see any touch, so the kick goes out of bounds for a penalty, and Western can back them up to kick it again or take it at the 35, and they're going to take it at the 35. If we had instant replay in high school football, that one would be reversed, but we don't. Wow. So, 1st and 10 Panthers. They'll start this drive at their 35-yard line, leading 35-14. Nepley, Mr. Everything, back under center and now in the pistol with 1 running back behind him and 2 wing backs in front of him in the huddle in a phone booth offense. He's going to take it and just run it straight ahead and runs into a pack of guys, some in white, some in green, and he's buried in the backfield for a loss. Good surge that time. Yorktown had Aaron Willis there. I saw Devin Thompson there. It's a loss of 3.
Loss of 3 on the carry.
It's 2nd and 13. Well, if you're Nepley, you really don't care because you just burned about 40 seconds, and that was the whole point, is to burn time. Who cares if you lose 3? You're ahead 35-14. Kind of dangerous. It's early for that, but that's their approach. Same kind of formation. 11 guys and about 3 cubic yards. Here's Nepley on the keeper into the secondary. He's out near the stick. He's going to be very close to a first down at the 45-yard line. 14-yard gain and a first down. What were we saying a moment ago about finding a way to contain Nepley? Kid is just elusive. He's a terrific runner. Hope some college gobbles him up because he's got talent to play at the small college level. On first down, flag flies. Ball pops out. It's free. Applegate's got it. He's got open field in front of him. To the 40, to the 30, down the sideline to almost the 20-yard line. Yorktown gets a break. Applegate picks it up and runs it back about 30 yards. That's the first turnover in the game. What did I say a moment ago about it might be a little early? So that's a big break for Yorktown. They get the ball in great field position at the Western 27-yard line. And what happened the last time they got it down here? They scored a touchdown. And they need one in the worst way now. Trailing 35-14, 10:49 third quarter. Neal gives it straight ahead. Spangler bounces one tackler, sheds another, works his way inside the 25 to around the 24.
Jordan Spangler on the carry. Takes it to the 24.
Gain of 3 yards for Spangler, who's up now to 82 yards on 19 carries. He might go for a Franklin tonight. It's going to need him to have a chance to win. 2nd and 7, Tiger ball. 24-yard line in Western territory with more wide here on the near side near the sideline. The handoff comes to Spangler. He starts right, cuts it upfield, nowhere to go. He's buried for no gain at best. On a nice play defensively by Western. Their linebacker, Ricky Bearden, was there to smack him down. No gain for Spangler, and 3rd and long for Yorktown. Tigers need a score on this trip. We'll see if they go to the air on 3rd and a fat 6, a short 7. Neal with a running back on either side. He'll get protection. He'll throw in the flat. Caught. Should be good for the first down. Yorktown takes it down around the 15-yard line. A nice throw and catch. I believe that was Hill. It was Hill.
That's good for a Tiger.
That's a gain of 8 yards and a first down. Neal with a nice throw. Nice catch by Hill. 1st and 10 Yorktown at the Western 16. Man in motion, they'll flip it to him. Applegate, nice cut on a stutter step inside, but only got about 3 yards if that. That'll bring up 2nd down. They'll give him a nice 3-yard chunk. Applegate's first rush. 2nd down and 7 yards to go. Clock rolling down, 8:48 of the third quarter to the 35-14 game with Western in front. Yorktown stays on the ground with it, taken down around the 10-yard line on an off tackle left by Spangler. He got it to the 10-yard line, make it the 9.
Brings up a 3rd and long 2.
4 yards on the carry.
It's 3rd down.
It's 3rd down and 2. Big 3rd down for Yorktown. They need to roll this over. It's 4-down territory. Man wide here on the near side is Applegate, closest to the sideline. They'll give it to Spangler, who stutter steps and doesn't get to the stick. He got one of the yards he needed, but not both, and it'll be 4th down. It's 4th and a fat 1, a short 2 Tigers are going to have to go. With 7:52 to go in the third quarter, they trail by 3 scores at 35-14. You got to get 6 down here. Neal will trot back and a line in the pistol. He's got twin wideouts here on the near side. Hill appears to be the to the sideline. Maybe Hunt next to him. And now a flag and a procedure call by the far official who walks in and drops the flag. And it's procedure against Yorktown, and you just can't have that.
5-yard penalty.
That'll cost Yorktown another 5 yards. I've got them for 5 penalties in the game, and that brings up 4th and long now. They need 8 yards to roll it over. And empty trips into the red zone are bad news for an offense. So Neal has the play call, but the play clock is already down to 10, and he's just getting lined up. Let's see what they do. Got to get a bunch here on 4th and 8. Neal with the snap. Looks to the sideline. He's going to take it, run, throw it quickly to the sideline. It's caught, taken inside the 5, down around the 3-yard line on a last-minute get-me-out-of-here throw from Neal to Spangler.
Spangler on the reception.
Wow. They'll mark him down at about the 2. Nice heady play by Neal, who got rid of it and said, get me some yardage.
First and goal, Tigers from the 3-yard line.
First and goal, Tigers, trailing 35-14. First down handoff. Spangler sweeping right. The defense is all over him. He's got nowhere to go, and he's taken down for a loss back beyond the 10-yard line on a great defensive play by linebacker
Back to the 10-yard line.
Andrew Alt. Big TFL right there. That'll take it back to the 11-yard line.
Loss of 7 on the play.
7-yard loss for Spangler.
Second goal, Yorktown.
Second down, goal to go for the Tigers on the right hash on the western 11-yard line. 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Yorktown needs a score in the worst way, trailing 35-14. Neal has the snap, has time, looks left, throwing a deep ball to the back corner. He's got a receiver out there. He couldn't get it. That was Spangler, who had his man beat. Ball was knocked away at the last moment in the dark back corner of the end zone, and that'll bring up third down.
Third goal, Yorktown.
Not a bad throw, just a good play. Third and goal from the 11. Yorktown should do everything it can here to get a score. They need 8 in realistic terms. You're not going to get that many possessions in the second half. If you can score a touchdown, you ought to go for 2 and get them. Man in motion is Spangler. Neal looks his way, now throws the other way. It's caught on a little screen. Applegate's got it. Takes it down around the 5-yard line, but he's going to be short of the end zone. Little 5-yard gain on a screen pass. Fourth and goal.
All right, Tonky squad.
Yorktown looking for a score from the 5 on 4th and goal from the near hash. Neal calls for the snap. He's got it. Looks left. Has time. Throws a deep ball to the sideline. It's knocked away and then caught. It's caught for a touchdown. The ball was batted away from the receiver, but Hill stayed with it on the deflection and grabbed it out of the air for a 5-yard touchdown throw from Neal to Hill. And this one's not over just yet. Beautiful play by Hill to fight for that ball and come away with the touchdown. Now the all-important extra point, and they're going to kick it. Dulworth on, Applegate to hold. Here's the snap. It's on the tee. It's off the tee, through the uprights, and it's good. 5:35 to go in the third quarter. We've got ourselves a game again. It's Western 35, Yorktown 21 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
A 50-50 ball. An elbow to the ribs. A sudden flash of tempers. In sports, anything can happen in the heat of the moment. The Indiana High School Athletic Association reminds you that when cooler heads prevail, everybody wins. When the game heats up, will you keep your cool? This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Yorktown has narrowed the gap here midway through the third quarter on a nice 5-yard touchdown throw from Neal to Hill. Dulworth's kick made it a 7-point score and a 35-21 game. And the Tigers ready to kick it off. And the dangerous deep man waiting on it at the 20-yard line for Western is Josh Coleman, who already has an 80-yard return for a score tonight. Here comes the approach, the kick. High, end over end, short. He let it hit. Coleman picks it up on the run at the 18. Now he's upfield to the 20, 25, around the 27-yard line. You got to come up and catch that ball. You can't let it drop. He'll learn that. Yorktown catches a bit of a break, and Western takes the ball, 1st and 10, at the Panther 26-yard line. So Yorktown has capitalized on deep field position twice tonight with touchdowns. They had a 28-yard scoring drive and a 27-yard scoring drive, and they need the defense to get the ball back for them now. Not necessarily a 3-and-out, but that would be great if you're a Yorktown fan. If you're Western, you say, let's just run the ball and do what we do and burn the clock. We're okay right now. Tigers trying to find another turnover. Nepley keeps it, quarterback keeper, and he runs it straight ahead and just runs into body after body, works his way ahead to the 30. That's a gain of around 4 and 2nd and 6. We've got Nepley for 16 carries and 188 yards unofficially. He's a sensational player, every bit as good as we thought he would be. Brings up 2nd down and 6. Panthers have it, leading by 14 now with just under 5 minutes to go third quarter. A lot of football still to be played. Yorktown shows blitz. Here they come. Nepley hands it off. Gifford sweeping right, cuts it upfield. He's short of the first down, but a nice run as he gets about 4 yards to the 36-yard line. They're going to put it down on the 35. That'll be 3rd down and short.
Christian Hunt on the tackle.
3rd and less than 2. We'll call it 1. Big down for the Yorktown defense.
3rd and 2 for Western.
Ball sitting right on the Western 35. They need to get just beyond the 36. And they've got it bunched again around Nepley. He's going to take it, keep it, tiptoes his way left. He's got the first down, and he's tripped up by Rittenhouse, but not before getting to the 40-yard line and getting 5 yards and a first down. Might have been a touchdown-saving tripping tackle by Rittenhouse there.
Tyler Rittenhouse on the tackle.
So another first down for Western. They've got an armload full. And a fresh 4 downs at their 40. Clock rolling at 3:43 of the third quarter in a 35-21 game. All 11 offensive players for Western are within about 5 cubic yards. I mean, they are bunched. Their gaps are narrow. Here's a handoff to Gifford. He breaks through the second level, and he takes it all the way to the 48-yard line. That's a gain of about 7. And 2nd and short.
For 51, Devin Thompson on the tackle.
Good down to throw on if you're inclined, but Western really doesn't want to throw it unless they have to with that lead. They want to burn clock. They're good at doing that. And from their own 47-yard line, they've got 2nd and about 3. Nepley can almost touch the other 10 guys. That's how close they are. He'll take it, hand it off straight ahead. Gifford works his way forward. Yorktown does not stop him before he gets to the chain. In fact, they get 2 more than they needed all the way to the Yorktown 47. 6-yard gain for Gifford and another first down for the Panthers. They just keep churning out first downs on the ground. 1st and 10 Panthers now in Tiger territory. At the Yorktown 47, 2:20 to go before the third quarter runs out. It's a 35-21 game. Yorktown trailing, Western trying to get some more. Here's Nepley giving it to number 12, his scat back man. That's the man who ran the touchdown back. That's Josh Coleman, who's getting a carry. Fresh legs. And give him a 5-yard pickup, closer to 4. 4 yards for him. That's his first carry from the line of scrimmage. He is electrifying. He's not very big. He's quick. And he's the typical scat back. 5'5", 145, a junior, and very quick. Ball at the 43 in Yorktown territory. Late third quarter in a 2-score game. Panthers have the lead and the ball, and they'll give it to Gifford, who stutter step, stop and go move. Bought him some time in real estate on a gain of 2 to around the 41-yard line. So this is the time of the game where your stats kind of slow down a little bit because you get small chunks now. You're just trying to burn clock and keep moving the chains. And that brings up 3rd down and 4 yards to go. Panthers have the ball at the Yorktown 41 on the far hash. That's the right side of the field as they move it from west to east here at Tiger Stadium. Final minute of play here in the third quarter, and Yorktown needs to get a stop here and get the ball back, trailing 35-21. Nepley in the pistol as he has been all night virtually. Man in motion. He'll fake to him and now sweep right side, and he's got just enough, I think, for the first down as they run him out of bounds across the way at around the 38-yard line. We'll see where they spot him. It's going to be close. Is he short? He may be short. He's a yard short. That brings up 4th and 1. Wow. Unreal.
4th and 2 for Western.
Western's going to go. And why wouldn't you?
All right, Tiger fans, we need a stop.
4th and less than 2. A fat one, a short 2. Ball is inside the Yorktown 39. They need about 1.5 yards, and Western's going to go. Big play here, late third quarter. Nepley waiting on the snap. Power right, and he bobbed. They're not going to call that. I'm sure they won't call it. It's going to be offside Yorktown, but the quarterback moved. They shouldn't let him do that. Did they catch him?
Delay of game on Western.
They call a delay of game.
Back 5 yards.
Well, that's poetic justice, because when you're barking to get them jumping, you move your head. That ought to be a penalty. As it is, it's delay of game, and that backs Western up 5 yards. A lot of quarterbacks get away with that. They should not. Makes it 4th and 6, and now Western shows punt as they run the punt team on. And that's a big hold for Yorktown if it turns out to be that way. Line of scrimmage, the 43-yard line in Yorktown territory. Hubbard will punt it. It's high. It's wobbly. Hill's going to let it hit the ground. It takes a Yorktown hop, and it's covered at around the 13-yard line by Casey Vale. Tigers get the ball. 31 seconds left in the third quarter. We'll take the break. Yorktown trailing 35-21 on Beaver Media.
Clutch shot, the timely hit, the perfect pitch, the heroic catch, the brilliant save, the photo finish. The Indiana High School Athletic Association would like to remind you that the biggest plays in sports matter little. If you don't practice sportsmanship, character counts. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
On the carry.
Welcome back to the ball game. The final 20 seconds of the third quarter. A first down run for no gain by Jordan Spangler, and it brings up 2nd and 10. Tigers at their 13-yard line, pinned deep in Tiger territory with the final 5 seconds to burn off. Neal wants the snap before that. He's clapping for the snap. Now he looks at the scoreboard and says, forget it, and goes to the sideline. He wanted it. He clapped hard. He's, give me the ball. They didn't get him the ball. The clock runs out. We're through the first three quarters in sectional 21 and 4A 21. Right now, we go to the last roundup. 12 more minutes left in regulation. Western has a comfortable lead. It's Panthers 35, Yorktown 21 on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. We'll be right back.
Everybody loves a good sports movie.
I've seen Rudy 10 times.
I love Hoosiers. If there were a sports movie about steroids, it might be called The Myth, the Truth, and the Consequences. The myth is that steroids are good for your game. The truth is they're bad for you and the sport you play. And the long-term consequences on your health are downright ugly.
That's one movie I think I'll skip.
High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
Welcome back to the ball game. We flip the field and go to the fourth quarter with Western leading Yorktown 35-21. It's going to be second down and 10 yards to go for Yorktown as they drive it right to left now, west to east. No wind at all. It won't help anyone. The flag is hugging the pole. On second down, Neal looks this way, throws this way, caught by Applegate on a little wide receiver screen. He comes out to around the 20, maybe the 21 before being bumped out of bounds. That's going to be a gain of around 8 yards, and it'll be third and short. Throw and catch to Applegate. Applegate's 6th reception of the night. Third and a fat 2 for the Tigers. Ball now on the near hash as we move into the early fourth quarter. Tigers need another score. Neal throwing to the far side. Caught another wide receiver screen. Daylight, and now out of bounds, close to out of bounds across the way, near the numbers anyway, for a first down. A nice catch by Hill to take it all the way to the 35-yard line. Wow. Nice job by Neal. 14-yard gain. Another nice catch by Hill, who has 3 grabs in the game. And a new first down and 10 for Yorktown. Man in motion this way is Rittenhouse. They'll throw a screen to him on the run. He's got running room. Got a block on the corner. To the 50, to the 45, to the 40, down the sidelines. He's going to shed a tackle. He's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Yorktown. 65 yards on the screen pass. No flags. Yorktown strikes like a bolt of lightning. Wow. Unbelievable. I can't believe how well Rittenhouse stayed in bounds, but he did. And he goes all the way. Biggest play of the night for Yorktown. And this kick is important because they can close to within 7 points if they can convert. Mitchell Dilworth on. Waiting for the snap and the hold. Here it comes. There it goes. There's the kick. It's low. It's a line drive, but he got it through. Look at him fist pump. Biggest kick of the night for that young man. Well done, kid. We've got ourselves a barn burner now. 10:57 to go in the game. It's Western 35, Yorktown 28. Back with more after this on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Don't you dare go away.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to Tiger Stadium. Yorktown caps off an 87-yard drive with a 65-yard screen pass for a touchdown from Reed Neal to Tyler Rittenhouse. Dilworth has the kick through, and we have a 7-point game with 10.5 minutes, all closer to 11 minutes to go in this one. It's anybody's game now again. Yorktown to kick it away. They've got some momentum with 2 straight scores. Here's the approach from Dilworth. High, end over end kick. It'll drive Coleman all the way back inside the 10. He picks it up at the 8, starts to his left, cuts back right. He's buried it around the 20-yard line. Good kick coverage by Yorktown that time. The momentum has shifted here, and Western is in trouble. Going to be 1st and 10. Panthers with the ball at their own 20-yard line. The field position game has swung the other way. In the second half, Western has had it at their 35, fumbled it away. Their own 26, now their own 20. Yorktown has had 2 scores game out of this. It was 35-14 at halftime, and bam, bam, boom, boom, out go the lights. Yorktown is back within a touchdown. And now if you're on the defense for Yorktown, what you wouldn't give for a 3-and-out down here deep in Panther territory. Got to respect these guys. They're awful good. They put up 35 in the first half. They're very capable. Here's Nepley, sweeping left, across the way, has a block, gets to the outside, down the sideline, enough for the first down all the way to the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on the keeper, and Nepley is over 200 yards in the game, and it's another first down for the Panthers of Western. Unofficially, Nepley on my sheet, 22 carries now. Let me see, 19 carries for Nepley. 214 yards. 3 scores. Kid's pretty talented. He's a great player. 1st and 10. Tigers show blitz. Here's a keeper by Nepley again, and he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think he might have lost a yard, and he did.
Number 77, Colton Yarger on the tackle.
Yarger takes him down for a 1-yard TFL, tackle for a loss. He's got a boatload of them this year. 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 for the Panthers.
Ball on the Western 36-yard line across the way on the far hash with 9:45 left in regulation. A 7-point game now at 35-28. Nepley goes left side, sweeps it around the corner, has a man, has a steam, and boy does he make hay fast all the way to midfield and cross into Yorktown territory. He went all the way to the 48-yard line. Big gain. And another first down for Western. Panthers trying to drive down and expand their lead. It has shrunk now to only 7 points after being ahead by 21 at halftime. They're ahead by 7 now. 1st and 10 at the Yorktown 48. Nepley will sweep it this way with a convoy. One man out there can't get him. He's going to get him. Great play. What a play by Hunt to shed the block. He was the only guy in green there. I didn't think he'd be able to get him, but he did. Great play, Christian. But it could have been 40 very easily. Terrific one-on-one tackle by Christian Hunt. That is tough to do. 2nd and 6. Hunt's not the biggest guy on the field, but he made a really nice play there on the run. Clock down to 8:20 to go in the game. Nepley in the pistol with a man in motion, and they'll send him out the block for Nepley, who will keep it and cut it upfield, and he's taken down on the reverse side pursuit. Another great play for Yorktown. This one by Holden Parsons to tackle him for a 1-yard loss, and it's 3rd and 6. Wow. Well, Parsons and Yarger are pretty good up front for Yorktown. And here's a big play in the game. With 7:50 to go in the 4th quarter, in a 7-point game, it's 3rd and 6. Western ball at the Yorktown 43. 2 men reset far side now for Western. Nepley says, what's going on? And they're confused, and timeout is called by Alex Stewart, the Western coach. That's the first timeout of the second half by either team. We'll take the break with them. 7:36 left in the game. Yorktown trailing Western 35-28 on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel.
Kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Brian Beaver back with you at Yorktown's Tigers Stadium. We've got a barn burner here now. 35-28. Western leading Yorktown by 7 on 3rd and 6. In Yorktown territory at the 43. Western needs 6 to roll it over. Nepley with a power left formation. He'll take it that way on the keeper, and he's got a block into the secondary and enough for the first down as he drives it all the way inside the Yorktown 35. That's a gain of 8 for Nepley and another first down for Western. I've got him for 234 on 24 carries and 3 touchdowns. And another Western first down gives him a fresh 4 at Yorktown's 33-yard line. How do you counter momentum? You just eat the clock and drive it down the field, and that's what Western's doing right now. On 1st and 10, Nepley with a power right formation, and he's going to hand off to Gifford. And Gifford leaps a defender at the line of scrimmage and jumps inside the Yorktown 30 to around the 28. 5-yard gain on the high hurdles by Gifford.
For 5 yards.
2nd and 5. Well, we've got a long way to play, but Western is burning the clock effectively. 6:50 to go in the game. Clock rolling. And a score here would make it tough because you're not going to get many more possessions if you're Yorktown. You really need to get them off the field here. You need a big defensive play from someone to make it happen. Now 3 men reset for Western. From the pistol, Yorktown showing blitz. They're going to sweep it left side. Gifford is yanked down for a big loss on a great play back there by the Yorktown defense. Sensational play. Great job by Mason Graham, who shot a gap and yanked him down like a sack of feed at the farm store. Wow. All the way back to the 34. That's a 6-yard TFL for Graham. All 3 Yorktown defensive linemen have a tackle for loss tonight, and that makes it 3rd and 11. Huge play. Tigers need to get off the field. Nepley waiting on the snap. Play action. He's going to throw it under pressure down the middle. It's incomplete. Off the hands of his intended receiver at around the 25-yard line. Pass was intended for Nick Hackler. He couldn't catch it. 4th and 11. Wow. That's the first incomplete pass I have on my sheet for Nepley tonight. He's 3 out of 4. He's thrown once in the second half, and that was huge. Now it's 4th and 11, and Yorktown is a play away from getting off the field, but Western's going to go. Play of the game. In a 7-point game right here with 5:45 left in the 4th. Yorktown needs a stop. Western needs at least 11. From the Yorktown 35. Play action throw. Deep down the middle. Incomplete. Again intended for Nick Hackler, who was between defenders but nowhere near catching the ball. And Yorktown holds on defense. And they get the ball back with a chance to go win it. Huge defensive stand for the Tigers. And now Yorktown gets the ball with decent field position at their own 34-yard line. They need 56 yards of real estate and a kick. It's a 35-28 Western lead with 5:41 to go in the game. Glad you stayed with us here on Beaver Media. You're hearing a great finish. Hunt in motion for Yorktown right to left. They're going to go to that wide receiver screen to Applegate. He's got it. Stutter steps a man. Cuts to the outside to the 36-yard line. It's a short gain of around 2, and it'll be 2nd and 8. They run that wide receiver screen very effectively. That one only went for 2 yards, but that play that Rittenhouse caught for the touchdown where they sent him in motion and hit him on the move, I'd go right back to that. 2nd and 8 Tigers. Hunt in motion to the far side. Neal looks that way, throws that way. Hunt's got it. Cuts inside a blocker. Cuts upfield, stays on his feet to the 40, maybe the 41. Clock rolls down to the 5-minute mark.
Takes it to the 41-yard line.
That's a 4-yard gain.
Good for 4 yards.
Wow.
It's 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4. Big play for the Yorktown offense. You're in 4-down territory everywhere now with 4:40 to go in the game, trailing by 8. Your season is on the line. 2 wide near, 2 wide far. 1 running back for Neal. He's going to throw right. He's got a man out there. It's through the hands of Harris. Check it. Hill, incomplete. Brings up 4th down. You got to go if you're Yorktown. They need 4 yards. At their 41, they really only need 3. It's more like 3. It's at the 41. They need the 44. 4th and 3 from the Yorktown 41. 4:32 left in the game. The incomplete pass stopped the clock. The play clock is down to 13 now, and now Neal runs back on the field. He's going to reset the offense with about 8 left on the clock. They got to hurry. 35-28 game. Play clock down to 2. Here comes the snap. They're not going to get it off. Timeout, Yorktown. We'll take the break with them. 4:32 left in the 4th quarter. It's Western 35, Yorktown 28 on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
Basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common. They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Indiana high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Brian Beaver back with you at Tiger Stadium in Yorktown. We've got a hell of a finish coming up. 35-28. 4:32 left in the game. It's 4th and 3 for Yorktown at their 41. They need 3 yards or they're in trouble. Neal's going to option right, and now we've got another whistle right before the snap, and it's procedure against Yorktown.
False start, Yorktown.
And that comes out of a timeout, and again, that's a self-inflicted wound that you can't have. You've got to know what you're doing when you break that timeout huddle and go out there. Now it's going to be 4th and 8 instead of 4th and 3. So Yorktown, they may have their season coming down to this down and distance. 4th and 8 at the Yorktown 35. Make it the 36. They need the 44. A back next to Neal. 2 wide here near side, 1 wide right. And they're going to look screen. Now they got a man wide open down the near sideline. Hunt's going to catch it. Take it inside the 40 to the 30. Great play. Western bought the fake, and it hurt him big time. That's a 33-yard gain from Neal to Hill. Or was it Hunt? It was Hunt. Wow. Wow. 1st and 10 Tigers, trailing by 7. They've got a wide receiver screen complete to Applegate, who takes it inside the 25 to around the 24. Yorktown is in position to tie the game. It's a 7-yard gain on 1st down on the throw from Neal to Applegate. 2nd and 3, maybe a healthy 3 to 4. Clock stopped and now rolling again at 3:50 left in the 4th quarter. It's Western 35, Yorktown 28. I said at halftime you'd have to hold them scoreless or no more than 1 score. They've held them scoreless. It was 35-14 at halftime. It's almost timeout time for Yorktown. They hand off inside. It's Spangler who has the 1st down and deep into Western territory inside the 15. 9-yard gain and another 1st down for Yorktown on a 9-yard run by Spangler. And another Yorktown 1st down That'll stop the clock temporarily. Now they wind it again. It's rolling at 3:15 to go in the game. Western 35, Yorktown 28. And I don't want to get ahead of anybody, but if you score here, do you go for 1 and tie or go for 2 and win? We'll see. Neal, the ball on the near hash, 3 wide right across the way. To him, play action. It's out on the flat. It's caught by Hunt, but he's hit right away. Breaks the tackle, spins to the sideline, takes it out of bounds at around the 10. Excellent second effort by Hunt. And he must have stayed in bounds because the clock continues to roll on a 4-yard gain. Now you got to hurry. Unbelievable. Ball spotted at the 10. Clock is rolling. These are precious seconds you're letting burn off the clock. 2:26, 2:25. You got to get going if you're Yorktown. Play clock at 10 as Neal gets to the set. They trail by 7. Now on the far hash. Neal has it. He'll hand off inside. Spangler hit once, twice. Works his way to the 9, maybe the 8, with the clock down to 2:06. 2 yards for Spangler. Hard-earned yards. Those are bruiser yards for Spangler. 91 yards on 26 carries on my sheet for him. And Yorktown is in 4-down territory with 3rd and 4. The ball sitting at the 9-yard line. Yorktown trailing 35-28. They need a touchdown and a PAT to send this to overtime or to go for the 2-pointer and the win. Neal with 1 back behind him. Option play, far side, pass underneath to Rittenhouse. He's going to go in for the touchdown. Tyler Rittenhouse, a 9-yard shovel pass underneath the defender. And Yorktown is a point away from tying. Sensational grab. That's a shovel pass underneath, and it worked to perfection. And Yorktown now has a decision to make. Do you play for the tie or do you go for the win right here? 1:26 to go in the 4th quarter. It's a 35-34 game. Time out Yorktown. It's decision time for Mike Wilhelm and his staff. We'll take the break and come back with a crucial extra point after this on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
I play high school softball for? I play for my mom and dad who've never missed a game.
Whether they're playing for their teammates, their classmates, or their community, high school student athletes in Indiana learn important lessons they'll use for the rest of their lives, like respect for the rules and the value of hard work and sacrifice. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to Tiger Stadium. Brian Beaver along with you. If you left this game, shame on you. And if you're just joining it, shame on you. We have 1:26 to go in the game. And Yorktown is within a point at 35-34 off the 9-yard touchdown pass from Neal to Rittenhouse. They showed option right, and the defense bit, and they shovel passed under the rush to Rittenhouse underneath, who took it to the end zone. Now Yorktown lining up to go for 2. They're going for the win instead of the tie with $1:26 left in the game. Man in motion to the far side. Neal will throw it back. They're going to throw a back pass here on the near side. It's going to be caught by Applegate, but he's short. They keep him out of the end zone. Applegate took the snap, tossed it back to Neal, who tried to throw it back, left to Applegate, and it goes no good. 1:26 left in this one. Don't go away. It might be onside kick time on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. We'll be right back.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass-through. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Great finish coming up here on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Yorktown trailing 35-34 with 1:26 to go in regulation.
All right, Tiger fans.
Gutsy call by Mike Wilhelm to go for 2 and the win instead of 1 and the tie. But now you've got a chance to get an onside kick, maybe, with 1:26 to go. Yorktown has 1 timeout left. I've got 2 timeouts showing on my sheet still to go for Western. Dulworth has it teed up at the 40. They'll kick it right from the middle of the field. Let's see if they do onside kick it. 10 men from Western are within 10 yards of the 50-yard line. Only 1 deep man. They smell onside kick. It's really about all you have if you're Yorktown. Onside kick, it's a chopper down the middle, and it's covered by a short man by Western at the 46. That'll stop the clock at 1:24.
Onside kick recovered by number 5, Nick Hackler.
Yorktown has had 3 offensive possessions in the second half. They've scored all 3 times. So what do you do here? You burn your timeout, you stop the clock, you hope they throw it or get out of bounds somehow or get a penalty to stop the clock. You think about that as a defense. You can stop it if you jump and take a 5-yard penalty. Give yourself a chance. Well, I'll tell you, Yorktown has showed enormous fight in this game. They trailed in blowout fashion 35-14 at halftime. They have scored all 3 times. They've had the ball in the second half to make it a 1-point game at 35-34. And a lot of people are going to be talking at the diner tomorrow about that decision. Do you go for 2? Do you go for 1? Well, I got to admire a guy who goes for the win. Takes a lot of guts to do that. Let's see what happens here. 1:24 to go in the game. Yorktown trailing Western 35-34. Western ball at their own 46. They'll bunch up the formation and snap it to Nepley, and what he does after that is just run straight into the pile, and he gets a gain of 3, and that does it. And the officials whistle timeout. Yorktown burns its last timeout following the 3-yard run straight ahead by Nepley. Timeout Tigers, their final one. And unofficially in this game for Nepley, 25 carries, 237 on the ground with 3 TDs. But he's been quiet in the second half. Western has chosen to run clock instead of run real estate. And so far, it has worked for them. They still have a 1-point lead. But boy, watch out. It's going to be 2nd and 7, closer to 8 when play resumes. 1:19 left in the game. Yorktown can't stop it with a timeout anymore. Timeouts are still in the pocket of Western head coach Alex Stewart, who huddles his team across the way and says, here's what we're going to do, boys. This would be a huge win for Western. After 3 straight losing seasons, this would assure them of a winning season if they can hold on and win here. When you rebuild a program, you need that kind of season. 2nd and 7, ball on the near hash. Clock stopped at 1:19. It'll start when he touches the snap. There it goes. Nepley straight ahead again. He has enough for the first down. He breaks out of the pack, headed down the sideline. He trips and falls. Temporarily stopped the clock at around the 25-yard line with a 10 and a minute 10 on the clock. Wow. 24-yard run. I'm not sure he meant to go down, but he did. It's a first down for the Panthers. They'll move the chains and now wind the clock. And the Panthers have the ball and 1:03 to go, and Yorktown can't call a timeout anymore. You got to try to strip the ball and see if something spectacular can happen the rest of the way. Play clock down to 10. Victory formation for Western, and they're just going to snap it under center to Nepley, and he'll probably just take a knee, and he does. Knee -1. They might have to do that one more time with 40 seconds left in the game. But you hear the fans across the way celebrating. They smell the victory. Barely survive. And Yorktown is conceding. Mike Wilhelm already walking out to midfield to start the handshake line. And this one's going to go in the books and end Yorktown's season after a valiant fight on their home field. They came within an eyelash of pulling off a great comeback, and this will be it for them in 2017. The final 5 seconds run off the board. The handshake line is underway. This one is history. The final score in 4A Sectional 21. Western survives and advances by the thinnest of margins. Western 35, Yorktown 34. Back to recap it on the post-game show after this timeout on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
The clutch shot, the timely hit, the perfect pitch, the heroic catch, the brilliant save, the photo finish. The Indiana High School Athletic Association would like to remind you that the biggest plays in sports matter little. If you don't practice sportsmanship, character counts. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
From Jamestown to Jonesville, from North Salem to South Milford, from River Forest to Grass Creek. No matter where you live in Indiana, you can enjoy high school sports coverage at its very best on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. It's 35 powerhouse radio stations, Fox Sports Indiana, and the World Wide Web, combining their vast resources to blanket the state, the Midwest, and the world with the purest, most riveting presentation of high school sports in America. From Anderson to Attica, Kendallville to Kokomo, follow the high school sports that make our state great all season long. Thank you, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Hey, honey, is this your course schedule for the fall?
Yep.
Let me see here. English, good. Chemistry, trigonometry, excellent. World history. Oh, I love world history. Baseball? Wait, baseball? Baseball isn't a course, honey.
Well, sure it is, Mom. High school sports are about so much more than winning and losing. They teach lessons that can't be taught in a classroom, like accountability and self-discipline, the value of teamwork. I may not be earning a grade, but I'm learning how to compete later in life. Isn't that what getting a good education is all about?
Yes, of course it is. I was just testing you.
What can teenagers here in Indiana learn from participating in high school sports? Out. That's why they're called education-based athletics.
High school sports. There's so much more than just a game.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
There's still a place. There's still a place where performance is enhanced by extra effort, not by performance-enhancing drugs. There's still a place where contracts are between coaches and players, and the terms are non-negotiable. There's still a place where an edge is something you gain by working harder than your opponent. There's still a place where sport is pure. That place is the high school in your community. At the Indiana High School Athletic Association, we believe that while competition can be fierce, it doesn't change the fact that it's only a game. The goal may be to win, but the point is to have fun. And if you want to be reminded of just how great sports can be when they're played the right way, then the place to be is at a high school sporting event in your community. High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message made possible by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
Welcome back to Tiger Stadium. A sad night for Yorktown football fans as they watch their team battle right down to the final minute of this game before falling 35-34 in a game that a lot of people will talk about for a long time. Yorktown's defense pitched a shutout in the second half. They gave the offense the chance to do its job. Yorktown had 3 possessions in the second half offensively and scored all 3 times. The critical play of the game was the extra point attempt after that last Yorktown touchdown. They had a decision to make with 1:26 left in the game. Do they go for 1 and tie it on a kick, or do they go for 2 and the lead and likely the win? And they went for 2, and they failed on a pass, on a gadget play. and Western was able to run out the clock and win this game in hold on for dear life fashion tonight, in a game that went to 35-34 after being 35-14 at halftime. It's always a tough night when you see the seniors who give their heart and soul to a program and they play the last game, especially on their home field. But this was a game that Yorktown really battled. They battled really strong in the second half. They should be proud of how they played after halftime. They kept Western off the scoreboard. They got defensive stops when they needed them. They held them at the 20-yard line at one point to get the ball back. And they did a really sensational job in the second half of this game tonight. A couple of big players had a couple of big nights tonight. The quarterbacks were really bright. You look at Tyler Nepley from Western, unofficially, 27 carries, 260 yards. He scored on runs of 23, 72, and 7 yards. And, he was the big guy. Everyone knew it coming in. And when you can do it when everyone knows you're going to do it, you're pretty good. It takes a lot of talent to make that work. And to their credit, Western did that tonight and held on with just enough in the end to win a 1-point thriller in this sectional 4A 21 contest. Reed Neal from Yorktown came back from injury tonight, played really well. Unofficially, I've got him 20 out of 29 through the air in the game for 186 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Both were in the second half, and he had a really nice run there after halftime when he took his team down the field. He had 6 completions in a row, then an incompletion, and then he hit his last 4 in a row. So Reed really played well, especially in the second half for a guy with a sore shoulder. And Jordan Spangler of Yorktown, 26 rushes, unofficially 91 yards, had a 2-yard touchdown. And, some days it just doesn't go your way. And this was one of those days. And I said earlier, a lot of people at the diner in the morning are going to be talking about Mike Wilhelm's decision to go for 2 with 1:26 left in the game, trailing by 1. But I'm sure he had a good rationale for that. He wanted his kids to have a shot at the win and probably didn't want to risk it going to overtime. And I see him being interviewed on the field by Ryan O'Gara right now for the Star Press. And Mike Wilhelm, he's a good football coach and a good man and a good teacher. And I hope that he continues doing this for a long time. His dad was a coach, and like father, like son, I think he does a really nice job out here, and hopefully he'll continue to for a long time. But this one goes Western's way. Quick recap of the scoring while we've got you. 4 scores in the first quarter, 3 more in the second. First one came at 11:41 in the first quarter. Basically, the first play from scrimmage, Yorktown gave it to Spangler. He ran it, fumbled it. Bounced up on the dead run to Applegate at the 40, and he went the rest of the way for the touchdown. And Yorktown led 6-0, and that was their only lead of the night. Western responded by returning the ensuing kickoff 80 yards for a score. Coleman went all the way with it. Freeman's extra point gave him a 7-6 lead. Another touchdown for Western at 6:38 of the first quarter, a 10-yard run by Gifford. The kick no good. Western led 13-6. The other score in the first quarter belonged to the Panthers. They got out fast. They came on the board again at 1:15 of the first on a 23-yard keeper by Nepley. Freeman's kick was good, 20-6. Panthers, after one quarter, it looked like blowout city, but not so fast, my friends, as Lee Corso would say. Second quarter, Western scores again at 8:17 of the quarter. A 72-yard back-breaking keeper by Nepley. Freeman's extra point made it 27-6, and it really did look like a blowout at that point. 3:38 to go in the half. Yorktown gets a score back after getting the ball deep in Panther territory. They get a 2-yard run from Spangler on the end of the short drive. Neal's run for 2 was good. It was 27-14, Western in front at that point. And then with 17 seconds left in the first half, Western got a really important score on a 7-yard run by Nepley. They called a timeout to set it up. He got it in. Gifford ran for 2. It was 35-14, and that's where the teams went to the locker rooms. And I said during the halftime show, Yorktown's going to have to hold them scoreless or give them no more than a touchdown in the second half, and they held them scoreless. Yorktown's defense played great in the final 2 quarters. The offense did too. They got 3 scores in a row. 5:35 of the third quarter, Yorktown on a 5-yard pass from Neal to Hill. Dilworth with the kick. 35-21 game all of a sudden. Quarter early, 10:57. Yorktown on a 65-yard pass from Neal to Rittenhouse. Most of it was run after catch, and he made a sensational move down the sideline, managed to shake a tackler and stay in bounds and go all the way. The extra point kick from Dulworth made it 35-28, and we had ourselves a barn burner. And then late in the game, Yorktown's defense got the ball back for the offense. The offense went down and scored at 126 on a 9-yard pass on a play that looked like an option run right. The shovel pass under the pursuit to Rittenhouse, who went to the end zone with it, and that made it 35-34. And that's when Yorktown took a timeout, decided, are we going for one here or are we going for two? They went for both of them. They threw a gadget play pass where Applegate took the snap, flipped it back to Neal. Applegate rolled left toward the end zone. They tried to throw it back to the corner to him. It was broken up, no good, and that's it. He caught it, by the way, but he was just held short and couldn't get it in the end zone for the attempt. So 35-34 game with $1:26 to go. Yorktown tried the onside kick, couldn't get it. Western got the ball, ran out the clock, and that's all she wrote for Yorktown football in 2017. With the win, Western improves to 6-4. The Panthers have assured themselves of their first winning season since 2013 when Nate Andrews was their coach, and they will get the winner next week of the Pendleton Heights-Lebanon game. I have no idea who won that game. They may still be playing. Yorktown closes out 2017 with an overall record of 3-7, and it'll be year 13 in the books for Mike Wilhelm. So, a great game. I hope you enjoyed it. If not, the outcome, what a sensational finish. Yorktown one play away from getting it done. They just fall short tonight by 1 point here at Tiger Stadium. Score for the final time. Western 35, Yorktown 34. For all of us at Beaver Media, I'm Brian Beaver. Thanks for having a great night with us tonight. Be with me tomorrow at noon for volleyball action from the 4A Regional at the Muncie Fieldhouse as Zionsville and Yorktown tangle in a clash of top 5 teams. One of them could very well be the 2017 state champ. Until then, I'm Brian Beaver. Thanks for joining me tonight. We'll see you next time, everyone. Have a great night, everybody.